Hey everyone, so I'm going to be getting back into YouTube now that I've got a bit more free time, and what better time than now, with recent news that I'm sure you're aware of. But going forward, you should expect some new videos that update the many deprecated old ones, as well as more Pathfinder content. Speaking of, this video is the Brightbound's foray back into Pathfinder 2nd Edition with the long-awaited Kingmaker adventure path. I put a lot of time and effort into everything that goes into this campaign, though while streaming is still pretty new for me, there's going to be a few technical difficulties you might notice. Most notably that Discord boop, though I fixed that about 30 minutes in. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how it went. So with that being said, if you'd like to catch it live, you can head over to my Twitch channel and make sure to follow to see it happen every Saturday, 6:30 PM Central Standard Time. It'll then be uploaded to YouTube every Monday afterwards. So, now without further ado, join us as we travel the Stolen Lands. That works. Alright, so everything on my end looks good. I think I can just get into the game itself. So, it has been a while, hasn't it? As we've been trying to prepare this and get this going. But I'm finally able to do this and finally able to get us going. That being said, I think we should still do a bit of an introduction, sort of across the table here, of who's who and, well, who you're playing as well. So, who wants to actually start with that? Any takers?
It's been a while. We have to reestablish our dynamic as well.
Yes,
Are we introducing our characters or ourselves?
just yourselves. And I mean, I do this for my professional games. I do who you are, what you do, and what your experience is in playing RPGs like this. So if you want to do that, we can do that.
Okay, I can go ahead and start.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Nelton Eck, a fellow streamer and tabletop enthusiast. I DM a couple games of Icewind Dale and 5e, though I am slowly shifting over the Pathfinder, thanks to these lads. I am playing as Giraffe, an old fighter who... Well, we'll figure out more later.
Yeah. That works. So, anybody else?
I can do next.
Go for it.
Hello there, everybody. I am Chris Crow. I'm a streamer myself. Basically just doing a variety of video games. My D&D experience goes pretty far back. Pathfinder experience, not nearly as much, and I'm planning to grow it because I'm loving this. I've run a couple games myself, but not very often. I'm usually just a player. And I am Kiba, the Tengu champion.
Uh-huh. So, as we're going through, I am just checking on the audio on Twitch. Are you guys able to, like, hear just fine? It seems a little bit low to me.
Yeah, that's just fine for me.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm just listening through our voice
that's just
chat.
fine for me.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm just listening through our voice chat.
Yeah, I think it's probably fine. I'll have to do some looking at it after. But for now, I think it should be fine. I'll have to do some looking at it after. But for now, yeah, that sounds fine.
All right.
By the
Well,
way.
I am Thay. I am not a streamer, unlike the other two.
Yeah, get in
I've been playing tabletops for quite a while, and I am going to be playing as Parenth, the dragon wizard who is mysterious. And yeah.
Yeah, that echoing, I'm responding to somebody in chat, was me actually like pulling it up on my end, so it was gonna echo there. It shouldn't be now. Either way, but yeah. Who's next?
Classic feedback loop. Hello, Thay. Hello, Chris. Hello, Naldu. Nice to meet you for the first time, for sure. I'm Yegs.
Oh yeah, definitely the first time.
I've been playing tabletops for several years now. Came into Pathfinder 2nd Edition with the rest of you all. So it's less experience in that, and I've been looking to try more and more different tabletop systems over time. There's a lot of variety to go around, and as we've seen with the whole debacle with wizards, it's probably a good idea to keep your eggs in separate baskets. I'm mostly more of an artist than a tabletop person, but it's always been fun to play with y'all, so see how this goes.
Yeah. And last, but certainly not least.
Hello there. The name is Nix. I'm the token European of the group. I do have a decent chunk of tabletop experience, though I didn't really run anything myself, unlike a lot of other people here. I'll be playing this stout kobold inventor Gaz, and yeah.
And there's one thing I noticed. I think I didn't set you up properly. Oh, it did have you set up properly there. Speak again, just so I can see.
Hello, hello.
Oh, now it's working. Okay, well. I wonder what that is. Either way, let's get started, because I think I can go without introduction. Maybe I can. Either way. Everyone should probably know me at this point. Kobold DM. I'm going through all my own channels, so anybody seeing this probably knows who I am. Either way, well, let's just get started. Let's play. Speaking of, with you all sort of going on your own in the world here of Galarian, something has brought you all together. A certain call of heroes. In the nation of Brevoy, in the town of Restov, there lies a manor of Lady Jamandi Aldori, a sword lord, sort of the nobility of Brevoy, masters of the art of dueling swords and, well, just dueling in general, the combat of that sort. But you're not really here for the dueling. You're here for the promise of adventure and of untamed lands beyond. And as each of you are arriving in the town of Restov and then up the hill towards the manor, it is getting later in the day, and already the skies seem to broil with the same potential that you might have, of course, going into these stolen lands. So with the rain beginning to patter down, I'm going to add a little bit of that. There it is. You all begin rushing up the way towards this manor itself. Of course, this hedge-lined or oak-lined path that leads up to it, with different buildings for the servants and other retainers beyond. You quickly make your way to the 3-story stone building before you, where it seems like the entryway at the front offers a welcome respite from the storm outside. That being said, this is perhaps one of the first times each of you is seeing each other. So, as you approach the doors there, would anyone care to start by displaying their character, or rather, telling us what their character looks like?
Since I was
Sure.
the first to introduce, I might. Oh, would you? Would you rather go?
You do.
Okay, I'll go since I started earlier. Giraffe is a tall standing gnoll, a great gnoll in fact, wearing the height of a giraffe and dual wielding a khopesh and a mangosh. He isn't the cleanest, but so this rain might be helping, but he doesn't look too happy about it either.
Alright, who's next?
I'll go next. So you all see a Tengu approaching as well, with white plumage, which is somewhat unusual for his kind. And he actually seems maybe even slightly taller than most other Tengu you've seen, if you've seen them at all. He's only sort of moderately armored and seems to be dressing in some very interesting traveling clothes that kind of border on fancy. He seems to carry himself with the grace of a dancer almost. You might even wonder what he's doing here if it wasn't for the fact that he has a big glaive that he's carrying around with him.
Certainly. And next.
I'll go. Approaching the group as well is a lithe kobold with onyx scales. They seem to be he seems to be quite the mismatch of traits and accessories, with something of a shamanic vibe to what he wears. Yet overtop everything, he is a fine purple coat that seems very poorly fitting to his whole vibe, his entire frame even. And and you see sparks of craftiness and intelligence in scheming eyes, in scheming golden eyes.
Well, that's
Alright.
not the only kobold approaching, as there's a second one with a coat that probably fit a long time ago, but right now it doesn't do much to cover the sheer mass of this rather stout fellow. Uh, on his back, he seems to carry a contraption, though it's kind of also not the only metal on him, as he's decked out in plenty of jewelry. He seems kind of annoyed as he tries to smoke during the rain, but obviously it's not going well.
Behind the two kobolds comes a rather runt of a dragon. They're quite small, and they follow behind the blue and dark blue scales. He has a satchel and a book basically sticking out of it, and he seems to regards the others with curiosity, to say the least.
Certainly, maybe as much curiosity as they regard you. A full-blooded dragon upon the premises. Though, as there are maybe one or two guards along the road, they seem to have been expecting each and every one of you. As you approach the gates at the front here, let's get into things with the doors swinging open for your arrival to the Call of Heroes. Sort of to your left there.
To the left.
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh, I
just put you over
cannot
there
see
for now.
anything.
Oh, well, yeah, you probably can't because you don't have dark vision. Let me make sure.
Super
it's-
blind.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, as you guys rush in and get out from the rain here into this little foyer, seems like a few guards and a few other of these different adventurers of different sorts. Half-orcs, half-elves, humans, all adventurers from perhaps even further away lands than you recognize due to their clothes and cultural accoutrements. But it is inside here that the rains abate, and you all are awaiting, seemingly, your entry to this hall. You hear some of the guards sort of nod at each other, or rather see them, but you still hear them speak as well. Alright, assigned seating, I know we're not in high school, but each of you is going to go to a certain spot at each of the tables. Nice of you all to come in together. You all at the northeastern table there. You'll find your seats. Does this look like everyone? The gnome to the or to the right there sort of nods. Should be everyone. Let him in. And the doors swing open to a raucous affair before you. Seemingly
What?
the preparations for a feast.
What is high school? The kobold whispers to the larger fellow beside him. It seems they are a bit more acquainted with each other than perhaps they initially left on.
Right this way, you all.
May have said this. Ask you the same thing.
The kobold looks to respond before the feast in front of him very much distracts him from what he was about to say.
It's a figure of speech from Absalom. I think they have schools like that there. Just head on in. As you guys arrive inside here, you are met with a striking, well, gathering of a feast before you, as I am looking for something in particular. Ah, here it is. A spacious hall prepared for this grand feast. You see several hustle and bustle servants about, with many of these armed guards on the sides, seemingly her house guards, watching over from between each of the pillars on the right. To the north, you see a banner displaying the crest of the Eldori looming from floor to ceiling tapestry in front of you. And it's directly above this sort of raised platform with a dining set befitting of nobility. Two massive crystal chandeliers hang from the ceiling 20 feet above. As you guys take your seats and take in the room a little bit more, you can also see that the walls are decorated with painted murals of idyllic woodland scenes, nymphs frolicking amid waterfalls, satyrs dancing with fawns in wooded glades, and various winged fairy creatures flitting through the trees. Of course, around you are 9 long tables arranged around the central portion of the room, each with their plates, utensils, mugs, goblets, and full, ready-to-be-poured pitchers of ale, wine, and mead, and water, of course, as well. The smell of roasted meat and other delicious scents fills the room, yet no food has to be served just yet. So, with you all sort of sitting down at the same table here, this might be the best time to get to know each other.
Oh, so I suppose you all are with me today. I see we make quite an interesting group, the 4 of us.
It'd be nice not having to work with any humans for a while.
We're
Change of pace.
kind of the odd men out, aren't we?
Whoa, wait a second. Oh
It
my
feels like they
goodness.
stuck us together on purpose.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong number. My apologies. I did not realize you were able to speak. Kiba seems to be looking at the little dragon.
Parenth
Oh yeah, he's a strange one.
levels his gaze back towards the bird. Of course I can. Can't you see the goggles? That means I'm intelligent.
Of course, I'm so terribly sorry. I just assumed you were an exotic pet.
Are you not a kobold? Why do you not? Are you not a kobold? Why do you walk on 4 legs?
I am not a kobold. Not at all. There's many differences. I have wings, see? And he gestures back towards his stubby little wings.
So you are a nerd?
Well, why don't we all start on a brighter note? My name is Kiba. I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, all of you, all 4 of you. And what are your names?
They called me Giraffe.
What a strange name. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Quite an honorable one where I was born.
What does it mean?
Is it because of your
It
coat?
means reaching tall heights. High goals.
Oh, I figured it would have been because of the pelt you're wearing or something.
Oh, that too. I climbed up its neck and slit its throat. It was quite the kill.
You climbed up what's neck?
A giraffe.
What is a
I'm a
giraffe?
Have you ever seen a zebra? No.
No, what is that?
It's a hoofed creature with a
Like
neck
a horse?
like the body of a snake. Yeah, one of those.
A horse with the neck of a snake?
Yeah, very tall.
That sounds like such a ferocious beast.
But a snake has no neck. It is all body.
Well, I imagine you live up to your ferocious namesake very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing your prowess in battle.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we are all to be an alliance together, is it?
Yeah, guess that's still out, but considering we're all grouped together, its chances are high.
Well, regardless, I would like to extend the offer preemptively. Let us all work together. I am Yarm, a alchemist, as you might call it. I believe that's the term.
An alchemist? My goodness, are you able to concoct any medicinal salves of any sort?
He can do much
Yeah,
better than that,
medicines.
actually.
Why is it always the medicines? They're such boring concoctions to create. You'd much rather get your hands on a poison, wouldn't you? The strength to smite your foes, all embalmed within a single drop. Is that not much more appealing?
Well, poisons are not exactly honorable.
Yeah, that's Like, what's the point of poison? You poison a beast, then you can't harvest anything because it's all ruined.
Oh, you can still harvest the horns and such. You just can't harvest the meat.
But
You can,
that's a waste.
if you use an
Why
injury
would
poison,
you kill a
can-
beast in such a backwards method?
Wouldn't it take
If you-
more effort to cure it of the poison you inflicted upon it?
Yes, and that such effort is wasted. Why put in effort for something when you could do something the easy way?
Yeah, that's a man of my caliber. Just do it the easy way, do it pragmatic. Bing bang boom.
And what about you, Kobold? What is your name? You have some interesting contraptions, it seems.
My name's Gaz. I'm here to make money, more or less. I'm an entrepreneur, you might say. I used to do my business with mining, but I have hit some hard times, shall we say.
Well, I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity to make some money with what we are going to be doing, I imagine. And what about you, little dragon friend?
Well, thank you for asking. I am Parenth. I am very bored of this place already.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, well, I
You're a
imagine we'll be
dragon?
hearing more soon. What do you do?
Stuff.
Do you have any useful adventuring skills?
I can do some magic.
Oh, well, that is very useful already.
He's also perfect if you ever want to grab someone's attention by standing next to a heckin' dragon.
Please allow me to clarify something. This is a dragon.
A tiny
This person
one.
right here. This is a
Size,
dragon.
size is not everything.
I had him tracked. He's real.
A bona fide dragon. Are
Yep.
are you certain?
I've seen little runts be quite dangerous, so I could believe he's a dragon.
A runt? I'm just small, okay?
Like I said.
Where'd you even get these goggles? Steal them from someone?
Maybe.
Now, let's not be hurling accusations toward one another.
Just gonna. Yeah.
And with your conversation sort of dying down there, turning into a circular argument about what's a dragon, is this a dragon, is this not a dragon? But I'm also wondering how long they can keep up that voice. We are going to shift as we do see some new figures entering the hall before you. In fact, up above, near the entryway here, or near the, what would be a throne, now set up to be more of a dining set at the front there, you do see two figures stepping towards it. First, a striking half-elven woman enters the hall, followed by what seems to be an aristocratic middle-aged human. The man wears finely tailored clothes fit for a noble, while the woman wears what seems to be a dress for battle. What would be dressed for battle, not actually a dress, or battle dress or something like that. Either way, she wears a fine leather coat over a sparkling mail shirt, and her waist has, hanging from it, an Eldori dueling sword with a bright silver pommel. The two make their way to the head of the table, where they remain standing on the stage here. That man speaks first. "Greetings, heroes. I am Yusuf Selemius, Lord Mayor of Restov, and this," he gestures to the woman beside him, "is Lady Jamandi Eldori. We both thank you for answering her call for heroes. You may be you may be few, I should say, but we need only the best for this great task." And as he sort of sweeps a bow down to allow what perhaps is Lady Jamandi Eldori herself, you've heard about her, to speak, of course. She begins with a smile. "South of here, beyond Brevoy's border, lie the stolen lands, This disputed territory has been claimed time and time again by would-be settlers, but because the area has been a haven for bandits and monsters, it has never been held for long. Restov intends for this to change, however. And that change comes from you. She scans across the room here. If you have enough courage to drive off the dangerous denizens of the Stolen Lands, you can seize territory for yourselves, and name yourselves baronesses or barons. Restov intends to recognize the legitimacy of the new rulers of this land, and none of the other neighboring realms care enough to challenge you. That we can assure you. We are prepared to provide backing as trade partner and military ally as well. If you claim the land, you will have my, and indeed all of Restov's, support. Excuse me. She raises her goblet at that point. But the details of your individual missions and charters into the Stolen Lands can wait. I raise my glass to you, brave heroes. For now, let us eat and enjoy the evening. Tomorrow promises to be a very busy day. As she sort of drinks up, the rest of the room also perhaps raising their glasses, drinks up, and the festivities begin here, with many of the other adventurers around looking, well, like they're gonna have their fill, you guys perhaps as well. But amongst each of these tables are unique individuals that you might end up dealing with yourself as adventurers in the Stolen Lands. So it would do well to introduce yourselves, to discuss things with them, and to get to know your rivals or allies, depending on how you make your diplomacy happen. So, from here, what do you guys do?
So many people to look at. My goodness.
They're all kind of samey looking, aren't they?
Always got the turkey blindness. Giraffe blindness.
Well, Kiba gets up and kind of glances over toward the group to the west first. Starts kind of just heading over in that direction.
Alright, as you head over there, you see this table with many what look to be the sort of grunts, guards, mercenaries, all in the same sort of dark plate armor. Though at the head of the table is a man completely different. Someone who looks more of an explorer than a guard. Sort of this long, brown hair that's sort of curly at his side here. Crossbow over the shoulder, battle axe as well. He looks fit for the adventure, almost ready to go right now. But as you approach, he sort of shifts his gaze towards you. Oh, who might you be?
My name is Kiba. I am a... How should I say this? I'm a servant of House Libida. Although I'm here on much less official business. I thought I'd get around and get to know some of the other groups.
Ah, servant. What would bring a servant on an adventure like this?
Well, I am actually the son of a very trusted figure within the house. In fact, my father is a trainer of blades for many of the soldiers in Silverhall.
It's quite interesting.
Indeed.
I am Hannes Drelov, of perhaps nobler stature than yours, from House Drelov itself. I would keep my eyes wary, for around you there are many who would stab you in the back for a slice of your land. That goes the same for me. I'm well aware that this is no charity case. We're going to have to fight for what we want.
That's true. However, I do like to think that most people, if not all, are susceptible to good influences, I should say.
Well, that's an optimistic way of looking at it. For now, though, I have less business with you and more with my allies, planning out our procedure forward. May you
That's
have a
very
good
fair.
day.
Oh, same to you. I imagine we'll be seeing each other at least once in the future. I hope it remains pleasant.
Well, if it's only once, then I doubt it would be pleasant.
Oh, come now. Just a saying. Best of luck to you all. I shall be rooting for all of you.
Just shrugs his shoulder and turns back to his group. And as you're sort of in that direction, meanwhile, Parenth, you're met with the guy standing next to you, or rather sitting next to you here. And I do want to make sure that the view is a little bit more. There we go. And as you do see him sort of regard you, sort of sidelong glance every so often, he does just sort of perhaps work up the courage to turn towards you completely and say, "Well, I haven't seen one of your kind before. You're a dragon. You're shorter than I expected."
We come in all sorts of sizes.
Is that
This one
so?
just shrunk in the wash.
Well,
Giraffe would just laugh at his comment.
many come in all sorts of sizes. Did you know that the nation of Brevoy was once conquered by dragons? Red ones, not blue ones.
If that happened, I haven't heard about it. How long ago did that happen?
A few hundred years ago is what has created the current political stalemate in the country. Sort of hangs on the word stalemate. But I will not bore you with the politics of this nation. I am Maegor Varn, a son of a lesser noble house, but still nobility nonetheless. Yet, I have enough humility to understand that being the third son of the house doesn't afford me much. I will forge my own, in the lands that I will call Varnhold.
Isn't it kind of pretentious to name the land after yourself?
I will not be lectured of pretentiousness from a dragon. Don't you hoard gold and other things and have people pamper you? Servants of your own? Kingdoms of your own?
Have you not heard them calling me a runt and some such? I do not at this point.
Not at this point, but I'm sure that once your coffers are filled in your meager nation, perhaps your attitude will change. Nevertheless, I wish not to entice you to take anything that is mine. In fact, I could be an ally of yours. For our charters should bring us close to each other, but with plenty of land to expand before we butt up against each other. Trade should flow between us, alliances should flourish between us, if you would have it, when the time comes.
I
Alright.
suppose we shall see later.
Don't say no right away. I'd say we should probably organize some good relations from the start. I mean, trade between us should definitely be like flowing freely, I'd say.
And let
Ironic.
it be known,
He's the one who acts more like a dragon.
and let it be known that today Maegor Varn has brokered at least an acquaintanceship with yourself and your group. I
What is
hope
his
you...
name?
Sorry?
What is his name?
Maegor Varn. I'll put that in chat.
There's going to be a lot of names in this campaign, I feel.
And there's gonna be a bit, as I'll also place Hanastrellos in chat.
After the session, or maybe sometime before next session, could we have journals? I actually want to write stuff down.
Oh yeah, certainly. I will do so after this. Still got a lot to set up and all that. Work the kinks out. But either way. That being said, Maegor Varn just nods. Perhaps goes to shake your hand or, well, four leg, whatever he could shake.
Parenth will actually conjure forth a mage hand to do the shaking for him.
Oh, crafty as well. Your land should lie west of mine, over the tolls of Lebanese. When the time comes, make your way to it, and we'll broker a deal in full. And as he finishes up and turns back to his meal, another figure, this one also sitting right across from him, a gnome in this purple tunic and a book at their side, sort of pipes up at seeing the mage hand. Oh, what is this? Someone else in the magical arts. Competent in them, it seems.
Of course I'm competent.
And the dragon, too. Well, I'm more impressed by you than any of your other compatriots there. The greasy one, the one with soot stains across their fingers, blasts from bombs. The dumb one.
Which one is saying this?
This one, right?
People know him in front of us.
At least I don't need a booster seat.
And at least I don't need paltry weapons to strike down my foes. I wasn't done. You also have that flowery bird at your side as well. You won't be much of a threat. I can assure you that.
Well, if you're not going to be a threat, might I implore for an alliance between us?
Oh, you want an alliance between Tartuccio and yours? No. Tartuccio goes on his own. With a few friends that I can buy off with the coins I have. But no friends, no alliances. I will rule these lands just as well as anyone else.
See where it gets you. Pint size.
Let it be known then that Tartuccio has tried to get you to turn tail and run. I won't show you any mercy if anything turns sour out there. But with that, he sort of turns away with a huff, going through his book a little bit more. There are other figures around the room here, but it's up to you guys how to proceed with that.
Yarm would like to continue pressing Petruccio. Come now. Surely there must be something you might need. Not a single man cannot hope to do everything.
He sort of rolls his eyes, looking up from his book again. How many times must I tell you? I don't need anything. Everything that I need is within this book and within my mind.
Really? Have you the ways to kill without being seen? To rid the world of your enemies far before they are aware?
Everything is within the purview of magic. Anything that you could think of, somebody has crafted a spell to do. Killing your enemies without them seeing you, well, there are certain powerful magics that could do that easily.
And do you happen to know them?
Well, not at the moment, but everyone has to start somewhere.
Well, in the interim, might I interest you in access to a poison or two?
You speak of poisons openly. Are you a crafter of sort?
An alchemist, as your kind would call it.
Perhaps I may. What would you be offering?
Only the finest for any manner of situations where you might want a living being dead. Though of course I dabble in addictive substances if those are to your fancy.
Well, they might be good to spread around among my subjects to keep them docile, but I know better. Regardless, you have piqued my interest. Perhaps later you must come by and we can have more of a private chat about your poison.
An offer I'll be happy to take up.
Alright. I now see Keep is sort of making his way down.
Yep, little by little.
Gaz looks down at the food and drink in front of him. Realizes that he's sitting at a table with someone who's seems to be very keen on poisoning, and thinks twice about eating and drinking, and instead joins Kiba in socializing,
Okay.
making his way down to the table with the more heavily armored people.
Kiba notices and just kind of waves you over with a very friendly smile.
Gaz doesn't respond with a smile of his own, but he does join Kiba's side.
And as you guys are making your way down this table, it seems to be the most rowdy bunch, or at least most different adventurers. The other tables may be having just regular mercenary groups or something like that, but this one, quite unique. As you do see, first, this woman with a massive greatsword slung over her back, sort of slamming her fist down on the table after eating what would be 2 or 3 whole turkey leg. Come on, where's the rest of the food? Can't keep my strength up without it. One of the servants hurries over, giving another platter over as she chows it down. She sort of looks up at Kiba and Gaz as you're approaching. What are you looking at?
Gaz
Hopefully,
leads
potential friendly faces.
Gaz leans in quietly and whispers, "Careful, or she'll probably end up eating you next."
I've seen friendly faces. Usually they're in the dirt. Sort of chows down a bit more. And
They certainly don't have to be. Sometimes all it takes is a friendly smile and a few words of encouragement.
don't care for that. In fact, you got any friends of yours that can beat me? Show of strength, something like that?
Easy. Giraffe
Well,
will get up and walk around.
Sure.
I'm sure either he or I could.
He
Although I'm
looks-
sure he could do it better.
He looks
no
tough.
need.
Sure. I think we can have a bit of a competition here. She sort of like turns around and there's this like smaller table with lesser adventurers. She pushes 1 or 2 of them aside. Get out of the way. We're gonna have some fights here. How about an arm wrestling competition, huh?
Heh. People in your silly little contests. Fine.
Oh, this ought to be delightful.
Giraffe. Would you perhaps need something to calm the nerves before you start?
My nerves have never been calmer.
Gaz is going to sneakily lean into the table and try to maybe collect bets. Place your bets, people, if you have anything to bet.
Okay, so for that, our first would have been an athletics check, but Gaz, I need a... Well, is this a deceptive one, or is it a straight shot sort of a...
Straight shot.
Diplomacy then?
Diplomacy. Yoink. Oh, that's a self-roll that I did.
Yeah, should be blind GM roll, not self.
There we go.
There we are. So, guys, as you're going around, well, you do collect what would amount to 10 gold pieces in bet. They're pretty equal odds. 5 for one, 5 for the other. Is there anything you add to the pot yourself, or shift this around?
He's going to toss in to goal of his own, yeah.
Alright, so that shifts the odds. I'm not exactly sure how odds are actually run, but for the purposes of
Who
it...
is Jarm betting for?
Yarm sidles up to Giraffe's opponent next. Excuse me, miss. Perhaps a bit of flayleaf for the nerves. He offers.
Don't need anything. Ah, my strength is right in here. Sort of pumps one of her fists.
Very well.
Giraffe would crack some knuckles and put his elbow on the table, arm outstretched.
Alright, here we go. Sort of clasps your hand with a meaty palm there. Someone's count us down.
3, 2, 1, and go.
I need athletics checks. Of course, one from Giraffe and one from her. These can be public since they are contested rolls.
Pretty serious.
Actually,
Oh boy.
hidden, but something happens when she goes to push your arm against hers. It seems like some of that grease from the turkey legs she was eating makes her slip, and it sort of like causes her to lose pretty easily there. No fair.
Oh, come. That was your own fault if you weren't such a messy eater.
Someone give me some flour. She sort of puffs her hand. How about this? Best 2 out of 3.
You're on.
Alright.
Give a
Guys,
cheers from the sidelines.
No way I
Counts
can roll
down.
worse than a 4.
And a pretty good roll there. As you use all your strength to get this going, she's gonna roll hers. She rolls quite poorly again. This is also a critical failure. I'm gonna say because of 2 crit failures, this time, again, it seems like your strength just outmatches hers, even though when you're testing it against hers, there's a lot of potential strength, probably just as much as you have. But you beat her, just with better technique. Ah, damn it. Thought for sure I could beat you. You're stronger than you
looks are
look.
deceiving.
That's right, they are. In fact, I got something else for you here. For your win. She pulls out a dagger. Someone gave this to me. It's too small for me. But you can have it, or one of your friends can. It's got a rune in it. She hands it over to Giraffe here, and this is what was handed to him. A +1 dagger.
Well, it's nice to see
Wow.
one person in your crew is worth respecting. May we meet on good terms again.
May we again. And we'll have to see what those terms are. I'm not exactly sure what I really want to do out there. That little pipsqueak's been trying to pay me to get me to go with him. But I don't think I'd do that. He's too much of a coward. He's magic, too small. Still though, gonna do my own thing for a while. But if we meet, maybe we can help each other out there. Name's Amiri, by the way.
Giraffe.
Well met. There's a meal to drink and some food to eat. She turns back to the table. And as those bets were going on, Gaz, I forget what you mentioned, you gave in more for Giraffe, correct? In the pot?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, good. He has actual confidence in me.
so there were 3 and 3 at that table there. 3 did Giraffe, 3 did Amiri. Those 3, of course, that did Amiri lost, so they get the whole pot, which would be 12, 3, 6, 9. And you also get 3 Gaz. So 2 to 3 gold. So 1 extra gold.
Nice.
And as you guys are all sort of gathering back up there, Lindsay, you see a halfling here. She very quickly will, of course, turn and say, "Oh, hey, that was wild. That was something, wasn't it? That's one for the books, isn't it?"
I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, honestly. The 2 of them look like they would make excellent friendly rivals.
Well, that's the best story you can have. Friendly rivalship, other antagonists, forces in nature. This is shaping up to be something real, something important. Name's Lindsay, by the way. Pleasure to make all your acquaintance.
Lindsay, hello. My name is Kiba. It's a pleasure as well. I take it you are sort of a story collector of sorts.
Not just a collector of stories, but a writer of stories as well.
Oh,
In fact,
my goodness.
I'm here to write your stories. The stories of all the adventurers in this room.
Gaz raises his hand. Do we get royalties?
That depends on how much you help me out with it. I mean, second-hand accounts, first-hand accounts as well. They don't usually give people royalties. It's more the person who writes the book and then somebody else rewrites it or something. That's when royalties come in. This is stuff I learned at the Pataxian Academy.
Pataxian Academy, interesting.
Yeah, you haven't heard about Patax?
Oh, I absolutely have.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue, that is. Pitax, I still don't know. But, I came from the academy there. I didn't stay long because well,
Yeah.
people get kicked out a lot for bad-mouthing the king, or even if the king doesn't like your work, even though you didn't bad-mouth them, they don't like it. Or,
Understandable.
Yeah.
I am somewhat familiar myself. I'm very pleased to see that you have managed to, how shall we say, remove yourself safely.
yeah, safely. Safely. But,
More or less.
either way, yeah, I'm here because I don't like that place, and what's the use of sitting in some stuffy academy anyway, when all the stories are happening right around us? So yeah, I'm gonna be traveling between some of these adventures as they're setting things up, writing their stories down. If you, well, if you survive, which it's dangerous out there, but if you survive, I'll be visiting you from time to time too.
I would love nothing more. I imagine you and I could become fast friends.
I think we could. You have a lot of manners, and you have a lot of flair too, actually.
Oh, I get both from each of my parents. The manners from my father, the flair from my mother. I'm a bit of a, how shall we say, I dance and I fight. All in the name of Shellin.
And as you mentioned Shalin, another face sort of perks up at the table there. This more quiet but fully armored woman, actually, from across the table there. That's just what we need. Another Shelinite to tell us how to do things.
Oh, a crusader.
Don't be like that.
I am no crusader, certainly not now. Shelin is not what the Stolen Lands need. They need law and order, not frilly tales and statues to their conquerors.
Why not both?
One tells a hopeful yet unrealistic story. The other is realistic. It is law of the land. It is the guardsmen who protect the town. It is the people who stand against the darkness. Not some art, poetry, or other thing. It is action, not words, not art, that gets things done.
Well, I assure you, I am plenty capable of action.
Unlike most, she sort of says under her breath.
I take it you have some sort of a history with Shellin.
I do, and it won't be spoken to you. Shelinite.
I understand, I suppose. I shall not pry too hard. Although, if you are ever interested in speaking about it, I would lend an ear.
There were plenty that would lend me an ear, but they still didn't change their minds at the end of the day. Change their minds about that beautiful rose. She sort of like taps her fingers on her forearm there, turning her head away, and Lindsay sort of pipes up again. Oh, don't worry about Valerie. She's she has an upbringing. It's not my place to say, really. Either way, yeah, don't mind her. She's got a good heart.
I believe... I believe we should have another conversation in the future, once we have both proven ourselves through actions.
She understands your words, but still goes back to her business, seemingly uninterested in speaking to you further. From her own, of course, malcontent with your worship. Either way, Lindsay, as she sort of like shrugs her shoulders, hey, here's something actually. I think this might help you. It was given to me on the road here, and it's pretty. I think it does something, but I'm not really exactly the sneaky type, so here. She hands over a little figure of an onyx panther on a piece of string to keep. I don't know, maybe you need to sneak around or something. Or your friends can use it. Either way, I like you. I wanted to give you a present.
Well, it's very beautiful, and I'm very grateful. I will do my best to try to find a use for it.
You hear another voice sort of pipe up. From their grumbling, you've heard from time to time this dwarf, bald-headed, gray-bearded, dour-looking armor and stuff like that. Oh, maybe she has a point. For what is art but another thing that will descend into dust, forever forgotten, just like everyone else and everything else from ages past.
It will only descend into dust if it is neglected. Like all things
are neglected, especially when there is no one around to maintain them. I've seen it with my own eyes. Ages past of dwarven craftsmanship fallen to ruin, more within the stolen lands themselves. That's why I am here.
Surely there must be more to it than that. You must believe in something.
Well, I do. I very much do. I believe in Grotus, the god of the end times, who looms above the boneyard for Asma's domain. Once he falls, it is the end of the universe as we know it. It comes for us all. Also, as a point of note, this is Valerie here. That's someone else to the south you haven't really spoken to yet.
Oh, I thought that was Amory that year.
Amiri is
Miri's the
she.
sorcery.
That's Valerie. Yeah, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
believe it is true that all things do come to an end. However, that does not mean that we shouldn't enjoy it to the best of our abilities in the meantime. Or at least strive to accomplish something meaningful.
Meaningful to whom? To what context? For all contexts cease to be soon enough.
If a little girl lost her how should I say this? Lost her favorite hat in a tree. Surely it is inevitable that the hat in the tree may one day wear down and become unwearable, but for now, you could always climb the tree and get the hat back for her. And in the present, she will be very grateful and happy. You can bring joy to people, and then they can live a very happy, fulfilling existence. And I believe that's what it's all about.
You may believe that, but it is not the truth. All things will cease, and all things that happen have no value since they will all fall to dust.
We all have value. All of us. Including you. Although I did not catch your name.
My name is Harem, servant of Grotus, seeker of the truth.
if all your things have no value, and may I have them?
They have value in one thing and one thing only, in the worship of my god. As his humble servant, I still protect myself.
Oh, shame.
Whether you see me or not out there, it matters not. But if you do, we need not be enemies. I simply seek what has fallen in the past, and what may rise again in the future, and then fall to dust once again.
If you need something restored, just point me in the right direction. I'll get it fixed up for you.
We'll see. Though with that, the feast has gone on for quite some time. Was there anything else you guys would like to do? As most people are getting their fill, they're getting tired, almost ready to leave.
Well, I'd like to introduce myself to this woman in the bottom here.
Yeah, and as you go to introduce yourself to her, it does seem that she has been quite quiet this whole time. As if this whole thing is above her, or below her rather. She sort of gives one sidelong glance to you before turning back, seemingly disinterested, but not moving away to stop any conversation.
And hello there, I'm Kiba. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this expedition.
Curiosity killed the cat. Or the bird.
You say that almost as if curiosity is the cat. How distasteful.
I will indulge you my name. I am J. Thal. Though, judging by your looks, by your stature, I have little further to speak to you of. I saw how you speak to the others. About your faith, about your beliefs, how you would wish to impose them upon people. I don't see that as wise for me to engage with.
Well, I do not necessarily wish to impose my faith and beliefs. It's more like it's something I strive to follow for myself.
Is that so? Then please, tell me more. Tell me all about it.
Well, how should I say this? I'm a believer in, how should I say, protecting those who try to seek beauty in the world. I believe in assisting those who value freedom and creativity. I believe that we should try to preserve that which is beautiful and that which has artistic value. And it's not limited to that, of course. I mean, if I see a person in need, I'm going to lend a hand, naturally. And if I see somebody who is, skirting the line of law, I believe these people should be dealt with, but I believe in, how should I say, talking to them and extending the hand of forgiveness where it's possible. I believe in redemption.
Well, I agree with a part of your ideas, and another part I don't agree with. But I'll leave you with the puzzle as to the answer which I believe in and which I don't.
I suppose it is something to dwell on, especially if you appear to have such a air of mystery about you.
This entire table is exceptionally theologically charged. Have you all naught else to speak of yourself?
Speak of myself. There are greater forces at work in the universe. That is why we are so attentive to them. But you've already met the others that are more earthly in their matters. Perhaps you're more interested in them. By all means, though, there is a good chance that we meet again.
Well, may it be on positive terms. I hope that we come to see each other as allies or perhaps friends in the future.
I find it unlikely, but I am open to it. I'm open to being surprised. Certainly lived long enough to warrant such eagerness for surprise.
Alright, well I shall let you get back to what you're doing. If you wish to speak to any of us, you will know where to find us.
Oh, I know. Heard you across the table. As you guys can return to your... There are other adventurers in the room, other sorts that seem to be wanting to strike out as well, but they seem less interesting than the ones you've met so far. And that sort of gathers you all back up at your home table there. Is there anything you wish to discuss, continue with, before the feast ends?
Yarm looks at Gaz. Flay leaf to calm the nerves, my lord.
Yeah, give me what you got on stock.
Very well. Only the finest. Yarm has in fact had over Flayleaf.
Just to be sure, there's no trace of poison on this in there.
I create all my wares in the same lab. So take that as you will.
The brass copper kobold looks at the flyleaf he's handed, seems to mull it over for a moment before just shrugging and rolling it into a cigar.
Have you never heard of cross-contamination?
Yeah, that seems like his problem. I'll just use what I get.
Okay. If you are using it, the saving throw is there if you want to avoid the further stages of it where you get fatigued, but the first stage you can certainly just elect to fail to save.
I will in fact elect to do that.
Okay, so get a +1 item bonus to saving throws against mental effects for an hour. Sort of mellows you out. And as you continue to smoke that, I'm getting used to not hearing the Discord boop when I press my push to talk because I'm so used to it from running all my other games. So it's a little bit throwing me off here. The other thing actually I wanted to mention, Jarm, strangely in the stream version of the game, your color, like your player color, is showing up really dirty for some reason, like a dirty icy color. It doesn't seem like it's looking like that for anybody else, and it doesn't look like that in game.
Oh, that's really
It's
weird.
very odd.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Might want to try a different one because I don't think anybody else is affected by that.
Is it Garm?
Yarm? Yarm, is it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pronounced Yarm. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, the colors on the stream are a bit warmer than in game.
yeah, a little bit.
It's not bad though.
Either way, as the feast begins to wind down, you do hear, or rather see as well, Lady Germania Lori getting up from her seat at the front there, coming around the side and then tapping a piece of silverware against her crystal glass goblet. Attention everyone, please. It seems to me that everyone has had their fill tonight. I trust you've all enjoyed the fine foods and ale that I provided to you all. Many of the raucous guests sort of clamber to stomp their feet or even punch the table as in a shout for how much they did like this feast. Do you guys say anything yourselves, or?
Gaz just joins in and waves around a turkey leg to show his joy.
Yarm discreetly shovels a bit of food into a pouch.
Well, I myself am having a wonderful time.
And with that, she sort of smiles broadly after the cheers die down, takes a few moments for them to grow quiet again. You do honor me, truly, but this night it is for you. As heroes, you have responded to my call, and I can't wait to hear tales of your exploits in the weeks and months to come. Tomorrow, I shall speak with you all about your individual charters. I suspect it will be a busy day, so I suggest we make an early evening of it. After all, you have kingdoms to plan. And with that, they are met with, her words are met with an even louder round of cheers and drinkware tappings on the tables here. Some of the goblets actually break from overeager hands. She sort of smiles with a bit of a joking nod to the breaking of the glasses here and there. Well, raucous crowd in front of me today. Of course, you can sleep that all off in the rooms that I've arranged for you all. She sort of sweeps her arms to the doors, double doors left and right. My gods will escort you to them now. I hope you find them restful. We shall speak further tomorrow when we meet back here at sunrise. And with that, many people get up from their seats. You hear the clamber of chairs being scooted back across the stone floor. And you see Mayor Varn once again approach the group here. He's got this sweeping cape on. I didn't actually show his full image here. There we are. Regal sort. Well, that was quite the feast. I didn't know I'd be stuck between two raucous groups of adventurers myself. I have my own retainers, of course. I didn't come here with them, and I will be returning to my own estate after this.
Well, once we're out there, we'll definitely have to meet up.
We shall, because you seem as interesting and diverse of a lot you are. You also seem one of the more sane ones. May we meet again. What would you call yourselves? My group is called the Varnlings. Yours?
Parent hides a snort.
I suppose we should have to think about that.
Admittedly, we've just met, so coming up with a name for it off the bat would be insane at this point, as you put it.
Well, any correspondence I could, at the very least, send with descriptions of who should receive it. I think a blue dragon, 2 kobolds, a bird, and a gnoll should suffice for the messenger to find you. Nevertheless, good day, and let us meet upon the pastures of the Stolen Lands in the future.
Of course. Have a pleasant evening.
So with that, you see the others get up and leave. Goodbyes aren't given to you much, except for seemingly the people that you befriended a little bit more. Amiri, Lindsay, and that's kind of it. As the others were a little bit peeved about your certain religious ideas in the group, but either way.
Bertucci and Jarm are totally buddies now, right?
Yeah, sort of, actually. Just not with the rest of the group, just you, as you're his poison supplier. This night has been tiresome, Yarm. Let us meet again. My room is on the western corridor, but I think yours have been assigned in the east. In the morning, perhaps.
That works well for me.
This is a conversation between partners, as he sort of like raises his eyes to the other. Not for your ears. He sort of glowers at you. Nods at Yarm and heads off.
What a delightful little troll.
Lindsay comes over. Hey guys, just wanted to say hi. I am saying hi to everyone in the room, so it's taking a while, so yeah.
Know that feeling.
I'll see you later. See ya.
Have a wonderful night.
And Amiri, she seems to be the most, well, heavily invested in the food and ale and other things. She's certainly drunk out of her mind. Not really out of her mind, but certainly there. And here's to my friends at this table. She comes over with a tankard, sort of half-filled, splashing nearby to gas. Finally, someone worth a fight.
Yeah.
The Kobold
I don't know,
shoots
maybe you'll
himself.
find more interesting opponents on this little opportunity.
What were you saying, Gaz?
Gaz just shields himself from the splashes with a frown.
Maybe we meet again. Maybe fight something together. Or fight each other. I don't care. So as
That
long
sounds
as
like
we
a
meet
lovely
again.
time.
He sort of saunters off, also in the rightwards direction through the doors. And before long, you're pretty much almost alone in the theater here. Many of the guests leaving to chambers or leaving out the doors to the south into the rain for their own sort of lodgings. So, through a night of talking, carousing, drinking, eating, and all that, it's sort of a haze as the guards bring you to your room for the night. That being said, though, I'm going to move you guys to a new scene. Ooh, that is the one track I forgot to import, so I'll do that real quick. will be dark for a moment before I place down your token. So let's do that now. Gaz, Giraffe, Kiba, Parent, Yarm, and Young Sharktooth. Let's reset this camera thing. There we go.
There's only 4 beds in this room. Who sleeps on the floor?
Yes, they're made for 4s, but someone can find some.
Oh boy. Am I the only one in the party without dark vision?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I'm not singled out.
But at the very least, you don't need light to sleep. Rather the opposite, for most people. But as you guys are getting your rest here, sleeping off the night of all of that, you start to hear through the din of the rain and the thunder pattering on your window outside there. You have a curtain covering it, but it still sort of flashes through. You notice that there's a different sound in the night. The most perceptive of you sort of start waking up to this sound of sort of hushed voices, then a bump in the night, and then something crashing and breaking, then a scream, then multiple screams as multiple people are yelling out in the halls beyond, people shouting, things getting broken, something is happening, and you guys aren't there for it, but you're definitely awakened by it. With you guys being awakened by it.
Well,
Indeed.
Giraffe's gonna get up. And not having time to get his armor on, he just grabs he grabs his weapons and goes out the door to see what's happening.
I'm
Alright.
absolutely getting my armor, if I can see it, actually.
Yeah, as you're looking around, it will take sort of a minute to get it on, but you have your ally Giraffe just heading for the door immediately here. Giraffe, you remember it's sort of to the south here as you're feeling your way forward, or any of your
I
allies.
just grab
of
my
course.
armor on the way out, try to put it on as I leave the room.
Watch where you're stepping!
Get up, something's happening.
This
I
audio
cannot
track
find
is
the door.
broken as crap. Yeah, I don't think you can actually click the door icon unless you can see. Oh, there it is.
Thank
Somebody
you.
opens it.
I opened it. Parent
So-
pushes the door
Oh.
open.
Oh, he got crushed.
As you get out here, yeah, I'm gonna pause you guys for a second because I'm still messing with this audio thing. For some reason, the track just randomly broke on me, so I'm gonna get 1 second here to get this in. There we go, and work please. Yes. As you are stepping out into the hall here, you very much see that there is a problem occurring. Bloody bodies of a guard on the eastern wall here. But also, looming above them, as you race out, is a figure, cloaked in black, seemingly wielding a dagger in one hand, a crossbow in the other. 2 of them, in fact, were leering over this body. Another 2 were sort of in hushed whispers going towards this door to the north here, but as you guys open yours, you hear one of them shout, "Hey, we got some live ones here! Just kill them already!" And I need you guys to go straight into initiative for this.
Okay. Did
Oh,
I have
boy.
time? Did I have time to do my armor yet?
Unfortunately not, as Giraffe raced out. But with this occurring, it doesn't seem like they were as prepared. They're going to have a penalty to their initiatives because of that. But yeah, everyone roll your initiative.
Yarm instinctively tries to hide behind some of the bigger party members as they go into battle.
Brilliant.
Roll these out. These 2 would actually be at -2 because of that effect, so they'd be behind Kiba. As even though you're going for your armor, it seems like this rush to get out there from Giraffe might actually help you in the initiative here. With it starting, Yarm, we're actually going to go to you first. Why are you encumbered?
That's because since we don't have our armor on, I tried to put my leather armor off, but like,
Oh, yeah, you can
yeah.
drop it if there's another option there. So if you drop it, it's still in your inventory. It's just not considered on your person.
It's dropped, but it's still like considered on my person. Like,
Oh, that's strange.
yeah, it's pretty weird. Cause I can wear it and it'll like instantly be no longer encumbered.
Yeah, for the purposes of it, just wear it for now. Leather armor is pretty easy to sleep in. Keep is more like heavy armor there. Either way, what's the plan? Your turn is.
Eba, do you use sharp weapons?
Of course.
All right. In that case, Yarn comes up to Keba and requests that he holds it out.
I have my glaive.
All right, Yarm is going to try to apply his centipede poison to the glaive right there and then,
Easy enough. It's a single
taking
action.
one step.
And whenever you're applying these poisons, do put their information out to chat so we can see what's going on with it. You can do so by clicking their icon in the inventory there.
This is happening so fast, I'm not sure Kiba's
There
even
you go.
fully conscious or aware of what exactly you're doing to his blade.
Yeah. As Kiba, your blade is now affected by this venom of a sort added by Yarm. As 2 of your actions, Yarm, or actually 3 because you would have had to pull it out, correct?
Yeah, I have to pull it out.
Alright, but with Kiba now with this venom on their blade, we do go to Kiba. What's your plan?
Right, I have my glaive. My armor's lying there. I'm just gonna rush out.
Okay.
Yeah, if people need protection, I gotta be there now. And I see them to the left, huh?
Yeah, Parenth is freaking out a little bit.
Left and right. Black-clad men with daggers and crossbows. Some of those daggers bloodied.
Like this for now, I suppose.
Okay.
No, not quite. We got melee on that side. Yeah, okay. Here you go. I think we'll be fine for now. Yeah, I have glaive. I'm These people are very obviously looking like they're a threat.
The 2 on the right there are leering over a dead body with blood on their blades of one of the guards of the banner here. They are probably not friendly people. But yeah.
You! How dare you! Shouts Kiba as he rushes at this guy with his glaive.
Mm-hmm. Go for that strike. So remember to press T for target over your enemy or double right click so it shows a comparison between their AC and your attack to me.
Yep, okay, it's on. I'm in the wrong tab,
Yeah.
I believe.
Attack from the
How do we do
Actions
this again?
tab. So, top left of your character sheet there,
Got
in
it.
the little buttons, yeah, Actions tab. Blue button for strike. There we are. As you strike out, this will definitely be a hit, though just barely as you nick the end of their arm there as they're reaching out. Roll a damage roll. And they also have to roll their fortitude save for this poison that has been coated upon your weapon.
Smokes.
Well, 11 on the dice, or 11 total rather, on your damage. I'm not sure that poison's going to do much anyway, because they are immediately dead from 11 on a strike there. As it cuts them down, it sort of cuts through their arm and opens a vein and they fall to the ground, dead quickly after that.
Alright, so that was a move in his strike.
It was. You got one more.
Find my actions. I have no actions. Oh dear. I see that as a problem. I will have to fix that at some point.
What is that, sir?
I have no actions.
What do you mean no actions in terms of, what are you speaking of?
All the actions on my sheet where I'm able to do things like...
like skill actions?
Yes.
So, in my Discord, there's the Foundry, tool thing, whatever it's called. I forget what I called it. It's the rules directory. Under Adventure Chat, in there you'll find the Foundry Guide where you find the setting for that specific thing. It's very important to turn on, as, it has a lot of good stuff there, but it doesn't turn it on automatically. It's only client-side, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, that being said, what would you like to do with that third action? Intimidate? Something else?
Intimidate.
Alright, so roll your intimidation check from your proficiencies tab, the hand icon.
Okay. I have targeted. Good.
Shouting out at the other, 15 total.
Do you wish to be next?
He sort of, quivers there for a moment. This ain't gonna be as easy as I thought. But he does stand his ground, even though he is frightened 1 at this point. Frightened will reduce their checks, all of them, by 1, including their AC as well. So it's a very good thing to put on. Either way, that'll be your turn as we move on to this one over here that Giraffe ran up to. They are going to strike out for Giraffe. As they got a dagger in hand, they're just going to make a simple strike against, which will actually hit. So normally I have my rolls blind, but for the purpose of it, I'll reveal it here. As you can see, of course, their attack striking out. Oh, one more thing. There we go.
Ow.
That fixed it. So, as they strike out, they're going to do some damage. Which will be 3 points of damage to you, Giraffe, as it sort of nicks into you. You've had worse. This isn't a very good fighter in front of you.
Eh.
Either way, we're gonna go on over to
How much damage does he do?
3 damage there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just looking for something on my screen. There it is. Lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff I'm learning, so... And you guys are learning too, so no big pressure here, really. Either way, they're gonna go for another dagger strike, and... after that second, which is a critical miss as you easily deflect it now that you got your stance and ready, to defend yourself there, they're going to start running away a little bit down the hall there and looking to their crossbow to fire it, but that'll be their third action, so they can't fire it just yet. Now we're going to go to the other guy who was standing right there as well. They're going to step up, and instead of going for a dagger strike, they're going to drop their crossbow and then try to trip Giraffe with an athletics check. This athletics check is against your reflex DC, and your DC is always... You don't make a reflex... So you
I don't do anything, but my
Yeah.
reflex DC. How do I see that?
Your reflex DC is 10 plus that plus 6.
Oh, so 16 is their DC.
And they have rolled an 18 on theirs, so you will be tripped as they sort of sweep your leg there. It does, of course, apply to multiple attack penalty when somebody trips or uses any of those other maneuvers, but with -2 to your AC, now that you're flat-footed, it may be still easier for them to come down with the dagger strike here. It won't, because they rolled quite terribly on those dice. As they try to slam the dagger in, you sort of roll to the side as it hits stone. Parenth, we're going to you.
Parent looks back and forth, trying to figure out the situation. Kiva took care of that one quite easily, so he's going to turn over to assist the downed Giraffe. He is going to pull out his spellbook and kind of wave his hands a little bit, and he is going to muddle the mind of this one next to Giraffe.
Okay. So, for that, I'm going to roll that will save, nice and nifty in the chat there, so I can click it and go. And it shows me a comparison where they have certainly failed. They become clumsy 2 and stupefied 2 as you befuddle their minds. They sort of stare dumbfounded for a moment and have a tough time sort of keeping themselves defended. That clumsy will reduce their AC by 2 because they're mostly reflex based on their AC. Stupefied, more effective for casters and stuff like that. Either way.
To follow up, he will make kind of a shell of magic appear around himself to protect himself from
Alright.
anything.
So you can drag that spell effect shield from the chat onto your token, and that'll apply its effect. And that shield immunity spell, or effect, is for when you activate the shield block reaction there. So no need for it yet. Now, Giraffe, we go to you. You are down.
Okay. So what does it take to get back up?
A stand action, which is a single action move.
So a single action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to use one action to get back up.
Alright.
And then I'm going to make a doubles. No. I'm going to use my equipped weapon, which I think is the Kopesh. Yeah. It has the trip feature, so I'm going to try to trip him. My
Okay.
Kopesh.
So, with that being said, you're just rolling an athletics check. You can find a trip in your skill actions if you're on your actions page where you find your strengths. And when you have them targeted and use that skill action, it'll compare it to their reflex DC for me, making it a little bit quicker.
Okay, so... Say that again. So I have my Kopesh.
Yeah,
Do
you go down
I
from
click
that. You see the skill actions area? Like balance,
I see.
climb.
The only thing under actions is double slice.
So you haven't done the thing either for the Foundry thing to activate this section. It's really annoying that they don't make this default. But either way, roll me a athletics check just flat there.
Okay.
Because it's probably the same thing as the other. But if you do get the skill actions, they compare it to their DCs, so it makes it a little bit quicker. Either way, though, a 14 against their reflex DC. Unfortunately, reflex was their highest DC. They're still able to get past it with a 14.
Just going
Even
for
with
that
the
'cause
clumsy.
it got the debuff. Anyways, I'm gonna use the weapon in my offhand, the Mangosh, to stab him.
Sure, go for it.
And that's MAP 1, right?
Yep.
Like-
So the
okay.
-4 there. That is going to be a hit. Roll the damage. So you can't really trip them up. You do stab out with the Mangosh, and yeah, that is going to be 5 damage to them. They're still standing, but they're looking pretty badly injured at this point. If you hover over enemies, you'll see that they have some like color coding for how badly injured they are. Either way, with that being said, that is your whole turn. As you got up, you struck, and you also tried to trip, but that failed. So Gaz, we get back to you.
Gas sort of struggles to get out of the sheets as he tries to join the fight and picks up his backpack/rig from the floor
Mhm.
and dashes outside to join everyone else.
I like how you can put that thing on in 2 seconds, basically.
It's an interact, at the very least. So, you have stopped on Parenth here, so you couldn't end your movement here if you were doing so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to move next. He is going to go to the right here, in fact.
Alright.
And with his hands on his controls, he yanks one of the levers forward, and one of the arms on the rig around him just strikes out forward past Giraffe as a very makeshift bludgeon.
Alright. Sort of reach innovation here, this pantograph gauntlet. So, target and strike. Striking through allies does incur a lesser cover penalty, so they will get +1 to their AC, but that doesn't matter. Combat stuff mostly can be public, so you don't have to make them blind.
Alright, fair enough.
Either way,
Got
that
it.
is a definitely hit. Roll the damage. Pistons out from your backpack there. Another 5 damage on that. That is going to be enough as it sort of sucks them across the jaw. They fall to the ground, dead.
What the hell is going on out here?
Certainly something. But yeah, as you picked up your device, you headed out the door, and you struck. That'll be all 3. We're going to get to this one, who is a little bit frightened on the side here. Still going to make a shot at Kiba with their crossbow. You stay back now. Don't want to have to kill you, but we already did kill a lot of people here, so just die. They do make a strike, and they do hit with the crossbow. It'll be 2 damage to you, Kiba. This sort of glances off your shoulder there. thing. He reloads and fires again as a third action after that reload there. Multiple attack penalty will apply, so he has a pretty poor chance. Yes, he will miss as you sort of sweep your glaive around, are able to deflect where you think they will be firing that from. That'll be their entire turn as they stay put and try to riddle you with those bolts. Now we're going to go to Yarm.
Right.
What do you do?
I'm not sure if there's going to be cover or concealing out there, but Yarm is still going to try and sneak out.
Alright. So, for the purpose of it, roll your stealth there.
Publicly?
No, blind. So,
Oh no.
yeah, the things that need to be blind are deception, stealth, and perception. Most everything else has immediate results, so you don't really need to worry about blind. So yeah, you roll your stealth, you start sneaking out, and, well, you don't have actually, I think there's a halfling feat that gives you enough cover to hide behind your allies, so I don't think you have it. This guy will be able to notice you there, but the other guy around the corner might not. He might not know where you are. Either way.
Either way, let's see. Yarm takes the opportunity. He doesn't have quick bomber, so he's going to grab a ball of lightning from his holsters, which is sort of equipped on his body,
Easily enough.
and he's going to use it to toss. He's going to try and toss it towards this fella.
Alright, so make sure to target and use the strike in your actions tab there for the bomb. And reading over
So, what
stealth,
was the key for targeting it?
T or double right click on the enemy.
Gotcha, thank you. It also has a. It's also the second range increment. I forgot how that works in particular.
It'll automatically do it for you, so don't have to worry too much.
Neat.
Unfortunately, that is going to be a miss on them. Whether they
Okay,
noticed you
thanks.
were there or not, they certainly do now. However, splash damage does apply on the bottle of lightning, so you can roll the damage anyway, so I can get to the splash. And yeah, they've done nice new nifty things with this, so there's a splash area separate from the rest. It does deal 1 damage to them as it splashes near them, but won't do much else there.
Yarm sort of shrinks away a bit as he tries to take cover behind Kiba. Not actually, but you know, just
Certainly
wise.
so. Kiba, your turn.
Unfortunately, I'm not currently in the game. I am trying to go through refreshes, and it's taking an awfully long time with downloading world data, etc.
Huh. Says that you are in. Like, were you able to log in through the regular screen?
Let me try a fresh reload rather than just a simple refresh.
Oh yeah. If all else fails, try a different browser. For the purpose of it, while you're dealing with that, would it be okay if you delayed until after some of your allies?
Unless you want to just have my character move and attack that last enemy.
Ah, alright. If that's what you're wanting to do, we can easily do that as Kiba does move and goes for a strike.
Perfect.
So glaive.
You've killed more, you fiend.
This shouldn't be blind because it is Kiba rolling. That is a success on the dice, so damage is gonna be Kiba's starting out really well. 9 damage to them. So, as you stride up and make another strike at them, they were already pretty frightened of you there. But, oh, they should have removed their frighten at the end of their turn there. Either way, they're still going to be knocked down by that blow. 9 damage is enough against these grunts here. Were you able to get back?
I am just now back in.
Mm-hmm. You have
Great
one more
time.
action.
I don't know what else is around me. I'm going to take a look down there. Aha, there's more here.
Mm-hmm. You did find them down the hall there. This last remaining individual, who is in the process of bringing up his crossbow, he sees you sort of around the corner there, but he was already aiming for Giraffe, so he's going to go for him first. So, strike with the crossbow there. Against Giraffe, as they just get into a corner there, trying to defend themselves. This will actually hit. Giraffe, you're going to take... Well, they're going to take 1 damage. 1 whole damage from this crossbow strike. Sort of bounces off your hide, almost scratching him barely. They're going to make a reload and the final strike there. Hey, where's my recent reinforcements? Goddamn thing. Rolls a natural 1 on his second strike, as he's not doing too well.
This one's mine.
That being said, Parenth, you go before Giraffe. What do you do?
Parent is going to stride out there to see where this other guy ended up going.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to take a look around to see what, if there's more than just this one guy. But seeing him and the fallen guy in front of him, he's going to use telekinetic projectile, flinging the guy's dagger at the other guy.
Roll the attack for the
That's
telekinetic.
amazing.
If you put it at the chat, it'll have little buttons for you in the chat there.
Yep, 1 second.
Even has little buttons for deciding whether it's bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. That's a newer feature.
So piercing for a dagger, right?
That is definitely going to be a hit. Just off of a crit. Would need 1 more there, but still a hit. Roll the damage. As you pick up this dagger and sling it towards them, it bends itself right above sort of their clavicle there. But they're still surviving. Just barely. They seem to have a little bit more health than that.
Come on, Giraffe, you can do this!
I said it was mine.
Giraffe, you're good.
Okay. Kind of like letting his shoulders loose. Giraffe is going to just stride towards this last one. And he is going to use his double strike feature. Double slice, that is.
Sure.
With his... Oh shoot, I have the Mambale equipped. The Mambale and the main gosh.
Easy enough. So each of those strikes is at full attack roll, rather than having to make the second at multiple attack penalty. Which makes this a really good ability as both of those strikes hit. Roll the damage for both of them to see just how much damage you're going to do. He was already pretty much dead with 1 HP left, so 15 damage I think is a bit of an overkill as you slash through with both, or stabbing with the main gosh and slicing with
across his chest.
as he is brought low very quickly there. That'll be the end of that combat as you guys strike your enemies down. Your new enemies, it seems, though you're not sure of who or what they come from.
Oin.
Is everyone all right?
Is that all of them?
Did we just kill them?
They go
believe
first.
so. I mean,
Well,
did
yes,
you notice
that's-
the blood coming out of some of them?
That means the poison's working.
We
I'm glad.
need to get ourselves fully equipped. Those of us who need to equip, let's do that immediately. Those of us who do not need to, please stand guard or wake those who are still in the rooms.
And that's exactly what Parent is going to be moving to do.
Alright.
Revolvers.
Also,
For familiars that are supposed to be small enough to carry around, is there anything we have to do for that?
I need to include a module to get them to stick to you. That'll probably be the
Uh-oh.
easiest way to do it right now. But otherwise,
Okay,
in game terms, I think you're asking.
yeah, rules wise.
Not really, because they can just sit on your shoulder.
Okay, that's good.
So, as you guys
Anybody got a candle?
as you guys are going around opening doors, I'm gonna start with Giraffe. Giraffe, from the light that sort of reaches in from, well, the rest of what you can see here, there seems to be some blood stains on the carpet. Can't see much else though without more light.
Is there a light in the room I can turn on, or am I gonna have to light a torch?
There is a light in the room. Sort of around the corner here, you can sort of turn this little like valve for the gas to come through. And revealed before you is no bodies, but plenty of blood stains, sort of rent asunder, these bed sheets and other things pulled up. But no bodies, as I keep saying.
They took the bodies. They're taking the bodies. I don't know what they're doing.
By the way, guys, if you double click on these downed enemies, you should be able to loot them. I may not have changed that setting though. Let's see.
Oh, it works.
There you
Parent is gonna push this guy to the side to get at the door, though.
go. All right.
Yeah.
Yorm has no compunctions with looting dead bodies, though.
Gas. He allows himself to some silver pieces.
Okay. I'm actually going to give you guys a party inventory so that you guys can organize whatever you want to just like be in a open bag essentially. For now though, it's only up to 10 bulk at max until you get a bag of holding, and that'll be pretty much it. Also, you see on that guard there a shiny little potion on his belt as well as his other equipment, so you could loot him with that. Let me make this party inventory public so everyone can use it. There it is. You'll see it in the Actors tab.
Don't mind if I do.
Why would
Won't
they
help
bring
him now.
pocket change on a bullfight?
Some of those coins have bloodstains on them, so maybe not pocket change for them. Either way, Thay, as you come into this room here, you do notice that it's also bloodstained, but bloodstained with a few extra details, that being hands seemingly severed from the bodies of the unfortunates who, well, died here. You can guess. Only guess, really. Otherwise, you can't really see color because of no light, but there is a light you can turn on. Now is also a good time to talk about exploration activities. Who is doing what as you guys explore around here? In Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there's these exploration activities where when you're not fighting, but also not like going overland or not doing downtime, you're exploring, essentially, really. You'll find in your Compendium Packs tab in the top right of your screen, very top right next to the cogs there, a search bar underneath it where you will search for exploration. You'll find a little question mark in yellow from the macro. If you put that on your macro bar and then open it up, it'll have all these little spell effects for the different types of exploration activities you can do. So for example, Thay was just entering that room. He might want to search the room, or search any room he just enters immediately for traps and other things. That helps because it prevents you from having to say, hey, do I check this door for traps? Hey, can I check under this bed? Hey, can I check in this dresser? The search check just does all of that, which is so nice. Either way, as you guys are looking at that and figuring that out, Parent, roll me your search check. Roll your perception there. This will be blind. As you're looking around, you do notice that something has rolled under one of the beds here. A bag of a sort, and a long sword as well, stashed under the...
are obviously not going to be using any of this stuff.
True dragon behavior.
And yeah, as you guys are putting on these effects, you can right-click any that you aren't using anymore in the top right of your screen, like little buffs if you ever played like World of Warcraft or anything. Either way, Giraffe, I imagine you're also searching these rooms, looking around.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I'll get you all sorted on all these things. It's just a lot of stuff that I will forget sometimes to get you guys set up for. Either way, though.
Oh, that's understandable.
Parent is going to step back out of this room and kind of call out to the group. There's a bunch of hands in here. They were all chopped off.
And Giraffe, as you open up this room and turn on the lights, there's no blood. But the sheets are ruffled, so someone was sleeping here. Maybe somebody escaped.
Just hands? How terribly morbid. Shouts Kiba from his room as he's getting his hide armor on.
Yeah. And Yarm.
Yeah, this story seems quite interesting.
Are you going for avoid notice? You do have like multiple things.
Oh yeah, I was just pressing buttons because I was trying to get them into my character sheet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you, it's not something you come into your character sheet. It drags it. You drag it onto your token, like some sort of like effect. Oops.
Oh, I see. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's something to get used to. But Yarm, immediately here, you do see more bodies. Actually, actual bodies with their arms and torsos and everything included, rather than just hands, I should say.
The arm styles into the room and carefully searches for anything of interest.
Alright, roll me your perception. Yeah, the exploration activities are good because you can still declare, hey, I want to see that painting or I want to look at something, but it just helps for like traps and other things. Either way, as you do look around, you notice that underneath one of the pillows, someone was reaching for what seemed to have been a potion. Still is a potion.
Yarm feels ever so slightly like they shouldn't just be doing nothing but looting right now, but it's still in their nature as a hoarding pack species.
But as you grab it there,
Is this door to the southeast, is this open? I don't know if somebody opened that or if it should be open.
I think somebody may have opened that
I
accidentally,
opened
but...
it and couldn't see, so I moved to the next room.
Oh, well. Giraffe just opened a door, leaving it open. Parenth, you see behind and see, oh, wait, he missed something. He missed a pile of bodies in that room.
Oof.
Yeah, he's gonna go investigate there.
So yeah, you do see in here more corpses of who was slain, seemingly in their sleep, as if this was an assassination mission of some sort for those cutthroats. But as you look in the room, roll me your perception check as well, see if there's anything out of ordinary.
The bodies we've seen so far, have they matched any of the people we saw in the party? Like,
You do see quite a few of these lesser adventurers, other people looking to stake their claim, trying to form up groups or something like that. Many of them have been slain here. But none of the ones that you spoke a lot with.
Oh, what a lucky coincidence.
Parent, then, as you're looking around, one of those elves in this room does wear a silver ring of quite some value.
You know, I can't help but wonder just who those hands belong to. He's gonna try and like peek into the room to see if maybe he can spot out some bodies with missing hands.
So, as you're looking through each of these rooms with more bodies in them, none of them seems to have had their hands taken from them, just left to die there. So, seems like the bodies that were connected to those hands were moved.
If all these rooms are clear, we should go check out the main room and the other wing, probably.
Okay, what's the deal with these hands? I want to investigate. Why did they cut off a bunch of hands and leave them in here, presumably?
Roll me a society check.
Oh boy.
Boy, it's the Hands Gang. Known society menace.
Might be some message, but Giraffe, the best you can think about is, judging by the sort of way that they were cleaved off, they were probably done after they were killed. And as they're sitting there, it looks like some sort of ritualized offering of some sort. Though that's as far as you can get. Don't know what kind of creature or who or what religion this would be connected to. It's just hands.
Been about 5 minutes, most likely, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
I will also say, sorry to interrupt you. After you guys have a look around through these rooms, all of a sudden there's this grating noise of metal against stone as to the east you hear this slamming of 3 gates, portcullises, falling to the ground. And if you go around the corner there, you can see to the north and south there as well are where those gates had fallen, including that center staircase as well.
It's
So it seems
fallen. Oh dear.
Someone somewhere has activated the sort of defenses of the manor to at least keep people from getting in or getting out or getting upstairs or wherever.
I think that's just peachy. No, we're trapped in here. Or at the very least, we're all alone, so that's a positive.
I don't
Relief
think
to calm the nerves.
I doubt it was just 4 thugs.
we need to check the others' places.
I agree.
Did you find anything identifying on any of the bodies of our attackers?
Aside from money, not particularly.
Money, weapons, clothing. Very standard fare for things anyone might want to bring to an assassination mission.
So, let's hold a moment on those doors as Kiba might be having a look at these bodies and the rest
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
what I was kind of waiting for.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to overhear of the U3 may roll me a society. Maybe trying to identify some of the insignias or even just clothing patterns of some sort of gang.
Us 3 on the right, right?
Yeah.
Society.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Oop, I did an open roll.
That's, oh yeah, recall knowledge should also be blind, but for the purpose of this is
Oh.
fine for now.
I wasn't aware this was recall knowledge.
Yeah. Anytime you're like thinking about something just in your head, there is a chance of critical failure giving you false information. That's why it's usually blind on recall knowledge. Because otherwise, if you roll a natural 1 and I say, "Oh, they're from Absalom," you know that it's a lie because it's natural 1.
Yeah,
So,
it's
you
been
get-
a few minutes.
It'd be funny
Okay.
if you knew it was a natural one and you just gave us the right answer, expecting us to think it was
Yeah.
false. 4D
So-
chess right there that you don't need to be playing.
Yarm, you're quite knowledgeable about this sort of thing, and these guys seem to be from a gang known as the Black Tier Cutthroats. They're named as such because they have black tier tattoos underneath their eyes, each signifying one of their kills. You can see a little bit more in detail there.
Underneath. Oh, like that. Not like underneath their eyeball.
No,
Eh,
sort of like prison tattoos. But anyway, they're a mercenary gang that is not above doing dirty jobs, including assassinations or assaults or killings. So, not a good group.
Isn't that just like us, though?
Depends.
Oh, look over here. Under each of these of their eyes. That's how many people they have killed. These are somebody hired them.
How many marks?
No clue. They're just the sort that get hired to kill people.
No, I was asking how many marks do they have under their eyes.
Some have 1, some have 3, some have 2. Not too many.
Also, amateurs. Low levels.
So, Yarm and the rest of you on the east here, you have seen your allies head west, where there were some blood spatters leading through those double doors to the west. So you guys are joining your party and heading in that direction.
Absolutely.
And as you're entering new areas, new rooms here, it's very important to signify what your exploration activity actually is for the purpose of it. Because if Yarm is avoiding notice, they'll roll stealth for initiative, maybe being hidden for the start. Others with search checks get an immediate check for the room, which could be very good for traps, ambushes, stuff like that.
Yarm's gonna continue avoiding notice. However, Yarm's also going to suggest to the group that he poisons all of the sharp weapons they have.
How long do poisons last on weapons?
I think
Until they're used.
Yeah, they last until they're used.
So how about it? Any takers?
It was a poison you applied to my blade.
Yes, very lethal, wasn't it? The honey worked right there.
I see. Perhaps I shall leave that to somebody else for the time being.
Anyways, I'm guessing Domingosh and Kopesh are you gonna take them?
Giraffe.
No. Giraffe.
Like what?
Yarm is offering to poison the party's weapons.
Well, since I'm not going to eat any of them, I suppose it's fine. I'll
These are
take
injury
it.
poisons. You can drink them just fine. Just don't get them in your bloodstream.
Alrighty.
Okay, one on each of the weapons?
It
How
seems
do I
like the best
apply
idea.
it? Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's they don't have animation just yet, so I'm just using extempore effects to just signify that you have. Either way. With that being said, there are these double doors before you. There's this sort of waft of air coming through as you realize this room before you seems to be much more of a garden space than you remember it being. Perhaps you stumbled by when you were, half drunken or just too full to really look around your surroundings, but it looks like a pretty interesting sight before you. And as you are entering this space, I need those who have their search checks going. Roll me your perception check. This time I got a mulligan it because it has to be blind, right? Well, okay. I'm gonna reveal this blind check because you just threw that right back in my
Oh,
face.
nice.
Okay.
I said, oh, I clicked the wrong button.
Right back to another natural one, or natural 20.
1 in
Yeah.
400, baby. It's never gonna happen again.
So, that being said, you guys do get the feeling that this place is not safe. Giraffe, you see someone shift around in the bushes to the back there, somewhere to the north as well. Somebody's trying to plant an ambush on you, but you're well aware of it.
We've got company. I'm gonna draw my weapons.
Mhm. Yeah, weapons are generally assumed to be always drawn as you're in a dangerous situation, so no need. So, either way, as you guys are waiting there for a moment,
I suppose that we shall have to show them just how much we're not to be trifled with.
you hear a voice just shout, "Ah, shit, they're onto us! Just get up there and kill them!" As you see new figures rise from the hiding spots they were in, some on those little bridges there, some behind the bushes of this garden. But I need initiatives once more. And I will say, those two at the back there in the center seem to be a little bit tougher than their other compatriots. A little bit more elite in game terms, perhaps.
Be funny if I got another nat 20.
I can roll stealth for this one, right?
I should have stayed quiet.
I rolled the same initiative as the last fight. God dang it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
Yarm, you
avoiding
can roll
notice
stealth.
my. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna roll their initiatives as well.
I'm finally noticing our dice colors, and I love it.
I'll shift you. There we go. So that the screen.
I might change mines up a bit, but I like it.
Yeah, I'll just do manually here. Either way, with that being said, combat begins with Yarm once again as you're able to realize that this is an ambush. Your allies are telling you that. What do you do here?
Alright. To start things off, Yarm is already seems kind of practiced with what to do in combat almost. And so goes ahead with a darting forward.
Alright.
Up to here. Hey Kiba, I'm trusting you to keep me safe. And then which was one of the elite one of the more elite.
Both in the back there, they're a little
Assassins.
bit more brawny. You see more tears under their eyes as if they're more experienced. So, like these two. Direct center back.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright. Yarm is gonna try to soften one up by tossing a ball of lightning.
Okay. Roll the attack. Make sure to target for it and go. Hey, that's a really good roll. Roll the damage there. You sling this bomb forward. They... Did you... Oh yeah, so with Avoid Notice as initiative, it means you're stealthing for the start of it. They are flat-footed to you
Oh, nice.
for the purpose of this. There's still a lot more details in stealth that I don't get to run a lot because not many people use it, but we'll get used to it as we go along. But they still take that 6 plus the 1, which is already factored into that main damage, and they become flat-footed as the electricity bursts out amongst them. They sort of like jitter there for a moment, not able to get their senses about them just yet. So,
Cool. Finally, Yarm is going to pull out another bomb, this time a dread ampoule, and ready it for when Nyx might be able to use it. Alright. It's off his guard. Get him.
So with that, we're gonna go to this guy in the back here. They, as they're getting up there, just shout out, "Alright, you're not gonna escape us, even though you killed our friends." Well, many of them weren't my friends, though. No trouble missing there. As he aims his shot with a crossbow there, he's going to miss. Blasted thing. Another. As he reloads and fires again, this time rolling quite high, but still being affected by the multiple attack penalty enough to make him fail that strike as those crossbow bolts go for Yarm there. Now we're going to go to this one in the south. I am realizing that that module that I have for marking who is active is not active for some reason. Either way, we'll deal with it for the time being. This guy, he will rush up to Giraffe here. Taking on bigger things than you. He's going to go for a dagger strike.
What? Like your mother?
Excuse me? He swings out for a strike with that, and he will hit for 3 damage there.
Perfect opportunity for Bond Mob. Unfortunately, no one has it.
Not
I've
yet.
seen termites bite harder than you.
He swings around for another, trying to lash in with this sort of knife fighting there, but he misses the second strike. That'll be his turn. Now we go to this one in the back here, who was thrown a bomb by Yarm. They seem to have a bomb of their own. How about a taste of your own medicine? He was carrying an alchemist's fire, which he will throw at Yarm. Since he went right up front here, throws it at you, he misses. However, even on the miss, the splash will still take effect on Parent, Kiba, and Yarm. You each take 1 fire damage.
Oh my.
And then you're straight on, but that'll burn well enough. The bush that you're sort of hiding in there, Yarm, also sort of combusts a little bit there. Not enough to hurt you, of course. Now, second action from him. He is going to, use his action. He only has a dagger in his other hand, so he's gonna step up here, or stride up here, to be specific about the mechanics. He's gonna go for a strike of a dagger against Yarm. This will be a hit, or actually, I spoke too soon. They just barely miss, as they're not able to get past your leather armor there. It's the last line of defense for you.
Oof.
So, with that near miss, we're gonna go to Parenth. What do you do?
Parent, seeing this big glaive next to him, is going to reach out and he is going to cast Magic Weapon on Kiba's blade.
Okay. Kiba's blade beginning to burn with that magical energy there. You can drag
Thank you,
that spell
friend.
effect onto your token.
And again, a shield.
Alright, shield goes up, defending yourself there as well. That being said, we go to Giraffe.
Oh. Well, this poor lad in front of me is about to say goodbye because I'm going to use double striking, double slice.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if this is overkill. Probably is. Oh yeah. First strike there is going to be a critical strike that is 10 above their AC with the Membella. So roll the crit damage
Go for
button there.
poison as
It
well.
has deadly.
Deadly on the top, we'll add more dice to it. 19 damage. I think with this Membella strike, you sort of like twirl your blades in front of you, making a steel net of strikes here. Yeah, the Membella just cuts
Oh, for
straight
his
into them,
lips.
and they are knocked down completely.
Do we add poison?
The poison would have applied, but it only is used up on the Membella, so your main Gauche still has that poison on. Just, he died too
Oh.
soon for the poison to take effect. Once we get past enemies that are dying really quickly in low levels, then the poison's gonna actually, actually have some.
Oh, I bet.
I'm then going to stride up a little.
Alright,
Hello there.
so you head up to this guy in the back who's been a little bit slow to get the ambush going on his end. Gaz, we go to your turn.
Gas slowly scooches in after everyone and prepares a more thorough strike this time as he powers up his backpack a little more and cracks it into overdrive.
Alrighty.
There we go, crafting check. Public roll, right? Yeah.
And it is. Unfortunately, that's a failure there. As you try to crank it into overdrive, some of the parts sort of like peter out and are disabled. Well, not really disabled. You don't take any failure effect there. Either way, you can't use it again until after a minute, or after your round.
You could get some better parts for this. Anyway, now he's just gonna, as before, just have an arm zip in front of the ally, around the ally in front of him, and strike the bandit in front, harassing Jarm.
Alright.
Shoot, I'm sorry, that was a public one.
No, attacks are public.
Yeah, text problem.
Alright.
But the strike, though, is going to be a miss as you just aren't able to get a good strike past the Yarm there. Either way, I think that's...
Yeah, that's his turn.
Alright, now we're going to go to this guy in the back up to the top here. They are going to take a strike towards Parenth here with their crossbow. Using magics or something, I don't know, just shoot them. That'll be a hit on their end. Again, rolling a 1 on their d6 for the crossbow, 1 damage to Parenth. They're going to reload and fire again, however. This time missing as well. So, just taking 1 grazing blow off of your scales there, nothing to worry about that much. So, Kiba, we go to you.
Alright, well, I'll just go ahead and attempt to finish this guy off with my glaive. I'm at reach, so Let us see how that goes. This is reach, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
The great powers of the glaive.
Okay, the bonus is
that's
applied
easy.
already. Good.
They're already sort of
No.
like shuddering there from the flat footing of the lightning. This will definitely be a hit. Not a crit though. Close to
Dear
one.
lord, does that thing have reach?
It does.
Yeah.
And, well, with the magic
Oh.
weapon applying an extra dice of damage to it, 18 is going to be plenty to strike them down with the now improved magical glaive.
Incredible.
That
In that
Russian-
case, I shall move up ahead. And while I know it's usually not a very strategically sound decision, I'm going to be bold and go for a second swing.
I mean, there's situations where you can use it. Magic weapon +1. You get low AC enemies like this. Yeah, you can use the multiple attack.
Absolutely. Let's give this a shot. So I face my fury upon the guy up here in the corner, and oh, well, let's just do it this way. Here we go.
Yeah. That'll be a hit. Roll the damage.
Okay, so I did a regular strike. So are we taking into account -5?
No. Yeah.
Yes, -5 is still a strike there, or a hit.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Also, Glaive has the forceful trait. When you attack while having multiple attack penalty, it adds 1 damage to it. So, second attack against circumstance but equal to the number of weapon damage dice. So that's actually 2 extra damage with the magic weapon. So 12 total there. That's still overkill as he slashed down on this one, as he poked his head up for the crossbow bolts firing. That'll be, I think, your turn with that one falling.
Oh wow, Kiba is just sort of not used to any of this, and so he's just not able to like make any kind of witty remarks or anything right now. But he continues to defend himself. All right, next.
Okay.
So my poison's letting you kill them faster is unappealing, but his magical weapons are. I see how it is. Yarm follows up. Yarm decides to call out to Giraffe first. Giraffe, can you handle a little bit of existential horror?
I guess so.
Alright, brace for impact then. And then Yarm is going to toss a Dread Ampoule at this
Sure, go
this
for it.
fella.
I think I see a miss, unfortunately, with a 4 on the dice there. Not gonna cut it. However, this is a good time to note something else. We have forgotten about hero points.
Oh,
That's
I
true.
was
That is...
wanted to grab the splash for you.
So, if you want to, you can reroll that with your hero point. So every session, everyone gets 1 hero point to start.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I did this with you guys, but I also now in my other games do 1 hero point per extra hour after the session starts. So make sure to keep track and add those as we go.
Alright. Is it fine to still reroll that even though I
Yeah.
rolled, I guess? Alright then.
If you go on your character sheet and you see at the top the hero points there, add those pips in there. And when there's pips in there, you can right click the attack that missed and click the button that says reroll using a hero point. Should do it for you.
So to be sure I understand, that means that we currently now have 3.
Yes. Since it is 2 and 15, 20 minutes after. So yeah. 12 on the strike. Unfortunately, still is going to be a miss as you sling that off. It's still going to deal 1 damage to them and 1 damage to Mr. Giraffe there as well.
It's your Giraffe, yeah. There's the splash.
Alright, as it splashes upon them, it's this like mental frightening effect, this burst of fear in your mind, but it doesn't do too much to you, or him for that matter. As we do go to... Actually, Yarm, you would have had other actions. What
I still
else
have
would
some
you...
more turns. Yeah. Gaz. You think you can pierce a hole through them with those what's it?
They're bucket wheels, but no, they're not really good for piercing. They're for digging out rock.
Shame. Well then, in that case, Yarm is going to retreat
Okay.
back here and pull out another dread and pull just in case.
Alrighty. So with that being said, we're gonna go to this guy's turn here as he looks down Giraffe. I could take you all on. He takes his crossbow and just drops it there, and we'll go for an athletics
Last
check
one left.
to trip Giraffe.
Oh, not this again.
These lumbering creatures, get on the floor. He'll be rolling a 21 total against your reflex DC of 16. It drops
Oh
it
no.
down.
Oh, come on!
They sweep the leg once more, as
Come
they're going to come
on!
down with a multiple attack penalty dagger strike. With you being flat-footed, it doesn't really matter, because they rolled a natural 20 there. They're going to get some crit damage off of their dagger strike. As you get to the ground there, they strike down harshly into you. But, Kiba.
I have excellent news. So, with sort of a flash and a quick prayer, I outstretched my hand and toward the enemy, and yeah, he has to choose either to not harm the enemy, or for Giraffe to get resistance to all the damage.
For 3.
3 plus 2 plus the level for 3, and the evil guy gets enfeebled 2 until the end of its next turn.
Alright, so as you flash your glaive out, there's sort of this rainbow sort of color for a moment in the air, and it's sort of the sign of shilling. And as it happens, they sort of like leer back. They don't care much for it, but their body noticeably sort of gets weaker as they shirk your redemption. So, Giraffe, you would take 14 damage. You're now going to take 11 damage instead, as some of that redemptive aura
Oh.
resists the strike. But still, it was a lot of damage from that crit.
Yeah, but
Alright, got you on your last legs. See if you got one more. Just gonna go for a multiple attack penalty, high value strike here, but yeah, too high of a multiple attack to actually get a hit in on the third strike there. That'll be their turn as they sort of look around. I could take all of you. I've taken plenty. Sort of points up at the tears under his eye. Or the black tear tattoo.
In a fight, right?
silence.
Jesus.
Oh my.
And that is where we
Unfortunately,
devolved from. No, fair enough.
unfortunately, you'll no longer be getting any more marks. And Parenth is going to grab one of the arrows that went by him
Mhm.
and launch it at the remaining guy.
Alrighty.
I need to make macros.
Most things you can just drag down from your thing into the macro bar to make them macro. Either way, you lift up any of the loose stuff. You said a dagger, right? Again?
An arrow.
An arrow, a bolt, yeah. So as you strike out for them with it, roll the damage. It'll be hitting. Sort of strikes into their side, but they are still standing, much tougher than the rest.
He's gonna follow up with the shield again, and that's it. Hopefully, Draft doesn't die.
Okay, Giraffe, you're feeling pretty rough on the floor there. What do you do?
Angry, but not down yet. He's going to use one action to get up and the other for a double slice.
Sure thing. Getting up, he doesn't have attack opportunity because most enemies in Pathfinder 2e don't. Some do though, so keep it in mind. Either way, go for the strike. First is going to be a miss there, unfortunately.
Really? 15 doesn't hit?
15 against the tougher ones does not. Would hit on the other ones. This guy's a tougher one. Second strike though with the main ghost with the poison still applied. This will hit. Roll the damage. They have to roll their fortitude against the poison as well. So that is going to be 6 damage to them as you stab the main ghost into them. Main gauche, gish, whatever. I'll have to figure that out. They're going to roll their fortitude, which they fail, actually. They're going to be taking the effects of the centipede venom, which is stage 1 immediately. The 2d6 poison damage. I'll have to figure
No,
out...
it's 1d6.
Or 1d6, yeah. I accidentally said 2d6 even though I was rolling
okay.
1d6. Either way, 2 more damage to them. So I rolled that out. They're still alive though, poisoned as they are. So I'm going to remove that from you. Transfer it over to...
Why are you putting it on me?
Well, I was removing it from you since you have it like showing
okay.
represented as having one, but now he's actually poisoned with this effect. I have to find a macro or something like that. Anyway, Giraffe, that's going to be the end of your turn. Gaz, we go to you, as both of those are weakened in the back.
Gaz just continues to awkwardly skirt around the fight, taking his place behind Giraffe again, and once again just socking the enemy with his machinery.
Okay.
Are you a sock and box and robot? Is that what your character is? Just
He's a rock'em sock'em kobold.
This will be a hit. Roll the damage.
I like that.
And as you do rush up and Giraffe's just looking back dumbfounded at your machinery, it will hit them very well with that 7 damage, destroying them in fact as it strikes out. Just
I
scattered
had
against
him.
the back wall.
You're looking kind of on death's door, pals.
I had him.
Sure, let's go with that.
So
Anyways.
that is the end of that combat as you take down these more tough opponents. Giraffe taking some damage worth there.
My friend, are you alright?
Take a guess.
We must see to your wounds immediately.
Some flay leaf to calm the nerves, perhaps.
I count Draft as just looting money while like dying.
He has priorities, okay?
I think what I'm going to do for the stream's benefit is make resources always shown for everyone on the team, at the very least. Usually I don't for my other games, since you can hover over anyway for the estimate, but we'll do it here because the stream can't hover over people. Yet. Maybe I'll find a way to make that work. Either way. That'll be better. There we go. So, those of you who have your search check or search stuff up, roll me another automatic perception check. Giraffe, you're already encumbered because you've taken up too much loot.
Are you just taking all the armor?
A what check?
A perception if you are still searching. So that was Kiba and Parent. I'm not sure what you were doing, Giraffe. You don't have an exploration up.
I was searching, but then I got too much into the combat, and now I just want to focus on licking my wounds.
Easy enough. So, the other two, Parent, you're able to see, like, going over maybe to the north here amongst this garden, you're able to see this statue here. And the statue is of some sort of female figure with a rose in one hand and a shield in the other. They sort of look like they're wearing armor there. It's half submerged in the water, strangely enough. Looks like it was just like left there, but artistically, it's just kind of weird. Anyway, you find on the back of it a secret compartment. As I am looking for my treasure, there it is. Drop. Right here. Looking inside, sliding that across, there's quite a few little potions inside. A healing potion, a bark skin, and a potion of fire resistance.
5 healing potions. This entire manor is trying to make Yarm redundant.
Oh no.
Parents will gather those, but I'm moving these things to the party inventory so that people can take what they need of it.
Yeah, you can move things directly from loots to party inventory, so you don't have to take it yourself. But if you like something on the ground, you can take it yourself.
He's been putting most things he's picked up in there. And as he's gathering these things, maybe one of these potions can help you out, Giraffe.
Potions. That's
Hey.
perfect. Jarm, there's something in here that looks like something you threw before.
Really, now.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Oh,
Um,
he is an alchemist. He is the type to mix after recipes rather than create his own little thingy.
So-
Would your army know what these? Oh wait, we have to. Do we have to identify alchemy these, or are these just we know?
No, I don't generally
Yeah.
run identification because it just wastes time, really.
Ah, okay.
DCs are really easy.
Here, little one, hand me one of those
Interesting.
potions, and I can administer it to our friend Giraffe.
Yeah, and identification is also much more important in a game with much less magic stuff. You get so much stuff in this. Yeah, it takes too much time.
Yeah.
These potions a waste of time. You do bear with one of mine. And Yarm uses quick alchemy to whip up a single elixir of life.
All right.
You're a funny little man, aren't you?
Oh my god, the crafting stuff is a bit.
It's gonna take some getting used to, yeah. But you, yeah, you did save an infused reagent for it. You used quick alchemy. It came through.
I have two actually because one comes from a familiar. It doesn't add to my sheet
Ah.
though.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll have to see if there's a way to fix that.
I'm gonna. Do I roll it?
If Yarm presses use elixir, I think he can roll it, and it'll also delete the item from his inventory, so it's helpful that way.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Succeed.
Oh yeah.
It's gone.
Oh, heck yeah.
Max from the elixir of life there, and also add that little effect to yourself, Giraffe, for the elixir of life minor. So drag it on a.
Oh, nice.
Gives you a little bonus there.
That... Is it pulpy?
That's up to Yarm.
Why is there pulp in it?
It's from the newt hearts I mashed in as part of their recipe.
I do say that is quite a
I-
useful talent.
You know what? That
Would you
makes
like
sense.
another?
Fine.
Alternatively, there is the less dubious potions as well. I do believe
The
that
less
might...
dubious one might be better.
Gotta say, you have some odd priorities. You smell like a dunghill, but some odd ingredients in a potion are too much for you.
Not like you smell much better.
Well, that is by association with you.
No, he has a point. You smell like flay leaf.
As I'm watching Giraffe's hand just quiver at the door there, I saw your pointer on it.
I almost clicked it, then I thought, maybe there's something on the other side of the door and I should wait till the party's ready.
Well, the only one who's not
Yeah.
ready is you.
Are you,
You know what?
ready?
I think
Are-
I'm good. I feel fine.
You're,
You're not-
s-
Another
Okay.
round.
you're still
Another round of
bleeding.
poisons, anyone?
You're still bleeding, though.
That's weakness
Yeah.
leaving the body.
I think most of us were just waiting to see whether or not you were going to take the potion.
Okay, I'll take it.
You do take it.
It's in the party inventory, is it?
Yeah, there's.
Yes.
And use potion. We'll use it.
Watch this one be a 1.
5.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's another 5 DSL.
Were there 5 in there?
Yes.
No, well, it was.
There were 6.
Oh, there were 6. Okay, I didn't move it to my inventory first.
Yeah, it's fine if you just use potion. Like that button, I think only reduces the quantity by 1. Luckily enough.
Alrighty. Let's go.
As you open the door, just chugging that back, you do see a hallway
Ooh.
before you, filled with bodies. Seems like 6 guards and 3, though, of them are the same Black Tier cutthroats, also slain in this room. A total of 9 bodies in the entire place. And as you guys come in here, those of you who are searching as your exploration, roll me your perception checks going forward here. And Gaz, for your investigation sort of exploration, that's useful in only certain situations where there's something interesting to see, like, oh, there's a painting on the wall that has some information or something like that. Otherwise, it just doesn't get used. It's sort of there. It's sort of there to make sure that you're not missing anything interesting in any room, but not necessarily dangerous or wealth or anything like that.
Ah, noted.
So, as I'm not sure if you guys intended to open that door, so I'm just going to close it there. As Giraffe is looking down the hallway, maybe picking through the remains, I'm going to move you aside because underneath you, I had hidden a loot box for all the guards. Some of them seem to have gotten to their potions. You see empty vials, but some of them didn't get to their potions. So that's 3 minor healing potions from that one.
Parent's actually going to take 2 healing potions to keep on his person.
Okay. As a reminder, yeah, if they're in the party inventory, you can't use it in combat. Either way, in this hallway, there's many doors, seemingly to other rooms here. Oh, I didn't reveal as well the Black Tier cutthroats who are dead here, so you might want to loot them as well, if you so desire. Keep up with the movie.
Parent is going to check each door as they go past them, just to make sure there isn't like survivors or something waiting in there.
Yeah, and that's as part of this search check that you made here. You actually rolled quite well, so you're able to recognize that there isn't much coming from many of the doors here. The only one that strikes you is the door to the north, right next to you actually. As it gets opened, you move aside and go in there. You were hearing a sound of someone speaking. Where are you? Where did you go? Oops, didn't mean to close it, but either way. Do you open and step in with them?
Yes, if it sounds like you voiced it like an old man, kind of, or something like that.
I got the same thing from my other Kingmaker group. It's not an old man. It's an ogre. As you step in, this massive creature was sort of floundering in the dark there, only this tiny lantern on the table guiding their way. Hey, now I can see. Now I can kill. He's going to heft his great hook in his hands and start charging to the bar. I need initiative.
What?
So
Not
that
bad.
happened.
Silence in the closet.
I pulled the Neldu.
Wow. Wow, that's so
I-
accurate.
I think this situation's a little different.
Oops. There we go. Okay. Yeah, roll your initiatives out.
Oh, hey, a half not bad initiative for once.
Same.
Let's do boss battle music because that would be... Alright.
If we
and
close the
just-
door and it becomes dark in there again, he'll just stop, right?
Theoretically.
He doesn't exist if he can't see us.
Yarm, once again, with your very high initiatives here. You're going first. What do you do?
Okay. You don't have any feelings for that thing, right, Kiba? You'll take a poison this time?
I suppose.
Alright, Yarm is going to take out a another giant centipede poison and apply it to Kiba's glaive.
Okay. So, put it out to chat so I can easily add it. And, yeah. Also, Yarm, whenever anybody is being struck by a poison blade, also put it out to chat again so I can reference it pretty easily.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was planning on doing that earlier, but it seems like you had it covered.
Yeah, this
Keep that in mind for
one
the future.
might take more than one hit to strike down, so we'll see. Either way, that's 2 actions, right?
Yep. I put down in the chat earlier that he poisoned one of his own crossbow bolts. Don't know if that's.
I didn't catch it, but there we go.
But like with that, So that would mean that he has the crossbow out now when loaded. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever you guys are adventuring, I always assume you're ready for combat. Like, you have your crossbow, it's already aimed, you know, like, I don't make people draw their weapons on each start of combat. So yeah, you have it ready.
Alright. In that case, it's a one-hand crossbow, so he can use a single hand to make a strike with poison bolt against this ogre.
See that strike? Shouldn't be too hard to hit. It is this massive figure before you. But unfortunately, a 14 is just a little bit away from a hit there. But you have more hero points.
Alright, spending one on that. The chat isn't updating for me, however.
It might be lag since you're far away.
Yeah, is it possible for someone else to reroll the hero point?
Yeah, I can get it for you.
Thanks.
I think it'll even take away from your hero point stash if I do it. Well, you shouldn't have asked me to do it.
Same result.
It is another 8.
Okay.
So,
Well, there goes that poison.
as you fire off this man, I hate when, like, someone like you who has to prepare their action, prepare their one good attack, and then you just miss it so much. It sucks.
Can you use multiple hero points?
Unfortunately not, because they have the fortune effect, which also means that
yeah.
like investigators can't use hero points at all. Because their ability is fortune effect. Anyway, yeah, it misses, but you have applied something to Kiba, so we can keep.
That's it for Yarm's turn.
But we go to this ogre. Seeing the dragon step through, it's going to immediately charge across the room, a great hook in hand, and strike for him. So let's see, strike out at Parent here. The ogre hook. They roll a 10 on the dice. This will be a hit. As they're sort of like itching themselves along here, like it seems like their furs, their body, like what they're wearing has a bunch of lice in it. It seems like their attacks aren't coming out as best as they would have hoped. Because that actually shows in chat there. It's -4. Either way, Glimpse of Redemption. Let's see what that does after I roll the damage. Yeah, they're going to still try to go through the damage. They don't want redemption. They don't want it. So, 5 damage only to Parent instead of 8. Still, it's, I think, like, almost half your health.
And it will be enfeebled.
Or stupefied. Actually, did you change that just then?
I changed it because I have the feat.
Yeah, so thank you for doing that. I would have done that anyway, since I like the automate. But, they are enfeebled, and enfeeblement on an ogre is not great. Do they have reach? Yes, they do. They don't like you, Kiba, for getting in the way. Start glowing that thing at me! So they're gonna go reach attack over Parent into Kiba, but you're able to easily deflect the blade. They roll a 2 on the dice. They sort of stumble back there, but that's about it. That's all they can do on their turn. Gaz, you're up.
Seeing a bunch of attacks coming out of the room, Gaz is gonna get into position. Try once again to overdrive. Check.
That is definitely going to be a success, as you're able to get your gears turning, everything a little bit more empowered. So, drag that. Yep, there we go.
And lastly, he is going to give the ogre a taste of his own medicine as he reach attacks.
Which attacking through an ally who is also as small as you are still is a +1. Actually, no, because the enemy you're striking is much taller. You can aim up, so I'm going to say no cover there. That'll be a hit. Roll the damage.
Nice.
Because of that overdrive, it'll be extra charged, a powerful fist strike in, another +1 overdrive damage because it's half of your intelligence rounded down, right? I think so. Either way, 6 damage to them, pummels into them, sort of like bounces off of their bulbous form there. They're still pushing on.
And that should be my turn.
Alright, Giraffe, you hear this happening behind you. What do you do?
Alrighty. Is there any way I could get in melee position or get in position to throw something?
You could push your way into the room there next to Parent. There is just enough space.
Is it enough to do with one stride?
Yes.
Okay, then I will do that.
Diagonal's going to be a little weird, but to the left of Parenth, like there. Move you up so it's
Okay.
sort of.
Then I'm going to make a strike with my Mombole, and then use my main gosh to parry.
Sure. So, strike out with the Mombala. Okay.
Oh, hello there.
That.
A 19 is a critical. Roll your crit damage. Pretty easy to get these crits as a fighter there as he rolls. Okay, well, you rush into the room, and as you adopt this defensive stance, you just keep swiping once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times through this creature before you. They can't follow your attacks, they can't keep up with it. All of it is enough to kill them with a 26. As it just
Okay then.
Get.
and falls to the ground with a thud. That'll be the end of that combat. Well, that's a hard encounter. You guys just burn through. He's even supposed to be blinded. Like, either way, Giraffe.
That's amazing.
These things happen.
I also find it funny that Giraffe has this like lamp above him that looks like it's covering his snout. Weird.
Aw.
It's a fashion accessory.
You know, I haven't been able to use my bite yet.
Things have been dying too
Use
quickly.
my poison yet.
Yeah. But I assure you that things will maybe get a little bit tougher. Tutorial levels are always pretty easy. Either way.
You okay, Runt?
Parents are just kind of standing there, mouth agape, from the shock of it hitting him with the club or whatever to just it being dead.
Why in the world was there an aggressive ogre in there?
That's what I'm wondering as well.
You
How did he even
actually,
get in here?
you
My
actually,
guess is that it came with the thugs.
Maybe it was an adventurer invited to create a charter.
you hear a voice call out. I'd like to know that as well. For the book. Why is there an ogre here?
Oh, it's the story keeper.
Lindsay?
Hey, hi. Thanks for saving me. I think you're getting started real quick on that hero stuff, aren't you?
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I'm actually fine. I worked some spells on him to keep him occupied. Here's what happened, really. I got sort of restless in bed, so I came to the library. And then this just massive thing comes in here with a bag full of hands and stuff and severed head. It's grisly.
Oh.
And then he
Is
says
that
he's gonna
what
make...
happened?
Yeah, he was talking about like making a throne. There's like a chair over there with blood on it, and all the books have been thrown off everywhere. They're all destroyed. All that knowledge.
Listen, this keep is under attack. There have been many people murdered already.
Wait, there's more?
We have, unfortunately, slain some.
Well, there's also
Thugs.
plenty of.
They look organized.
You can find some scattered around the hallway in front of your room.
Oh, so that's what... I wonder what happened to the other 3 in my room. I think Amiri was there, Harem was there, and Valerie. She was there as well.
We
We didn't see them on the way, so either they're completely dead or still alive.
Maybe they pushed forward. Either way, thank you, for saving my life. I don't know how long it wouldn't notice me there. By the way, here, I want to give you guys something else. I've been holding on to this. And she hands over another little bauble, this time not a panther, but a cat. I'm going to put it in the party inventory. Here.
Eva just kind of pulls his hands back away from that and lets somebody else take it.
Might help you around here. I don't know what you're going to be balancing on, but, you never know. And as you guys
Giraffe.
Sorry, go ahead.
Giraffe seems like the type to fall at least 20 feet. Maybe he should use this talisman.
Yes, that seems wise.
He has fallen twice already so far.
Wow. Really? Now's not the time for that kind of chatter.
I don't know, I
That's-
kind of agree.
But I will
That's-
take the charm if you're offering.
It's all yours.
And those of you who are still sort of keeping your eye out for things with those search check or search exploration activities, roll your perception checks in this library here.
I switched parents to detect magic, by the way.
Okay.
Also gonna switch gas up now.
To move a rune from like one weapon to another, it's like with a crafting check, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to.
I know
have
I can't do it now.
Yeah, you have to have magical crafting, or you can just have somebody do it for you in a town.
I'll
It's
have
pretty
someone
easy.
do it for me. Maybe someone in the party.
Mm-hmm. So,
Because I think the parry effect, it does like it increases your AC more if it has if it has a rune, maybe?
No, actually.
No?
Parry is improved usually by classes that have feats for it. I think there's a fighter feat that'll give you improved parry.
Okay,
Like,
I'll look for that.
It's twin parry you're going to want to look for.
Twin parry. Thank you.
Either way, as you guys are looking around, it's actually Giraffe here, only Giraffe, who notices something else. Next to Parenth here, this bookshelf that has been torn sort of aside a little bit from the books being thrown from it, seems to actually have a draft coming from behind it.
One of the shelves?
Well, the bookshelf. Like the whole bookcase, rather, on that wall.
I'm gonna try to push it aside, or like look behind it.
Alright, first pushing aside Parent, and then the bookcase. As you're sort of pulling it away, you notice that it's opening up to a secret passage into a small, unlit room.
What do you suppose that is?
Either the way the bandits came in from, or our way out.
It could be both.
I suppose I could light a torch. Lindsay,
Yeah?
I'm incredibly reluctant to leave you alone. I believe you might be safer if you were to stay near us.
Yeah, sure. In fact, don't bother with the torch. I've got a spell for that. She casts her light spell on you.
Oh, that's truly marvelous. We will do everything in our power to keep you safe.
Sure, I'll stay back. I sort of twist my ankle. I'm not gonna run into a fight or anything. I'll let the heroes do the work. And... Sorry, Pen.
Parents is going to notice her casting magic and he's going to say, "We'll have to share spells someday or talk about this later once this is over."
Sure, yeah. Sure. My spells are a little bit different than yours, but either way. Giraffe, as you step through, you see a chest in this small, unremarkable room here. It has a large padlock on it, though, this chest.
Anyone here know how to pick a lock?
I do.
By all
Well,
means.
aren't you full of surprises?
We're very lucky to have you.
A kobold must be versatile.
Are you really that surprised considering he carries around poisons as well?
Normally I would be averse to such looting, but I feel like the situation calls for a little less discretion than usual. We should probably try to use every advantage we can to survive.
So yeah.
If it is any kind of an important treasure, however, I will insist that you return it to its rightful owner as soon as possible, however.
I mean, so far we've been allowing us to the guards potions stocks, so I don't see any harm in looting one more container.
They don't need
It's
it,
not-
they're dead.
It's not looting. If it's something that will help us survive the assassinations, then it's all worth it, isn't it?
In this case, I would agree.
Alright, so I've never picked locks before.
So, Thievery check. It can be public since you immediately know the result.
Kiba stands guard.
Never picked locks before, says the kobold.
So
Oof.
as you're fiddling with it, you aren't able to get a good bearing on opening it up, but you can keep trying as long as you don't critically fail. Then you break your picks. So try along. It only
Awesome.
actually takes like a full round as well to pick a lock, so it's like 6 seconds.
I just realized the light is on me, so I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah. With that, however, Yarm, you sort of like knuckle down, taking your time a little bit more slowly here. I'm going to move you up because I'm going to reveal a chest that is opened. More loot. Inside, you find what seems to be a assortment of stashed weaponry, potions, and bags of pre-sorted wages of 100 GP each, and there's 8 of those bags.
That's a lot.
I was planning on taking Talisman Dabbler so I can put +1 focus crystals in everyone's weapons, but I think that may no longer be a good choice.
They just keep appearing out of nowhere, those +1s.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find someone to move them on my good weapons.
I always use them now. +1 is +1 to hit. More crits as well.
Well, I'm sad to see the money go. I feel like we should be leaving that where it is. I don't want for stealing.
This isn't my Warren's territory, so I can't rightfully take it. These weapons, though, the things that'll help us survive, as I said.
That is very noble of you.
Alright, take what you will. As you leave those wages behind, I assume you're taking the healing potions as well.
Wages aren't ours to mess with, but the healing potions might come in handy now.
I will also
Worst case scenario, we could just pay him back.
And as you guys are in this room, I will also say, because you're on the back side of a secret door, you also notice that there's another passage that seems to lead southward, out of the room, right there.
A
as
secret
well open
passage
it.
in a secret passage?
Most
Yes.
likely just 2 different ways to one secret cubby.
As you open it, seems to be going into a storage room there, Gerard.
Oh, fun. Lamps.
Has any and all assortment of extra oil, bed linens, candles, common tools, crates of supplies. If you did want to pilfer anything from it, there is a loot box there of rope, crowbars, torches, lanterns, and oils as well.
If it's a loot box, do we have to roll to see what we get?
Oh, no, it's well,
Wow, I need you to not do that again.
Okay.
So Parent is going to hold on to these wages to make sure nobody else takes them.
okay.
Dragon.
Let's take those wages, all 800 gold's worth, from that box. Rest of your,
Dragon behavior.
rest of your party was mostly forward of you before you took it, so it doesn't seem like...
Even Kiba would have been,
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So,
He'll give it back later.
there's more doors. Though, didn't hear anything from them, and still don't hear anything from them from your earlier perception check.
let's check in this one just in case there's any survivors.
There may be people hiding.
They wouldn't make noise if they were hiding, so of course.
Mm-hmm. And you open the door to a large room that contains 2 rows of simple beds along the southeastern wall, and at the foot of each of those beds is a small wooden chest, though the lids are all standing ajar, and their contents, mostly clothes and personal items, lie scattered about the floor. A sturdy oak table, and 6 chairs sit against the northeastern wall. As you guys come in, anybody who is searching as their exploration activity, roll me a perception check.
While they're
He takes a good look
rolling,
around.
I guess I should ask how the detect magic exploration feature, like, what does it even do for me?
Yeah, so it's considered repeat a spell. It's sort of a constant, like, casting of the spell every 6 seconds, and it will notify you if there is magic within, you know, that distance. But because detect magic is pretty weak at its first heightened level, it only lets you know if there is magic around you.
Gotcha.
And your allies' spells and weapons, they don't count. It's like more like other things. You've attuned those out. Either way, as you guys look through this room, Giraffe, you go immediately for the clothes and other things on the floor here, and you're able to find among them, oops, didn't need to rotate keyboard, a little keepsake charm that seems to be a little bit of value that had been left behind, but nothing really else. Worth 10 GP if you sold it, but it's also someone's, like, little, you know, there's little, like, someone my beloved gifts. It's basically one of those heart-shaped charm things that you open. You know what I'm talking about.
Not going to take this. Not mine. I leave it.
Okay. Everyone else does see it there, but otherwise, as you look through here, this is probably the servants' quarters, but no servants, nobody to be found here.
Can't say if the servants from here are among the deceased or not.
I can't help but wonder if the owner of this locket is gone. Would anyone that would remember this ever get it back? Would the Manor be responsible for that?
Maybe we can find their family or something.
Not bars to mess with.
So, only 2 doors remain, one to the south, slanted against the wall there, and one to the direct west. Which one?
Okay, Mr. Runt. Out of the way. I'm not letting you face an ogre.
Alright.
The chances of there being another ogre are very slim.
Well, we saw one.
You open the door to what seems to be a small, more well-furnished servants' quarters. Perhaps the head chef, as you do see a chef hat on the floor there, amongst the other stuff that's been pilfered from the chest. And looking through, anybody who wants to, roll me a perception check. Don't see much, Giraffe. But there's others who could take their chances. The arm. Don't see much either.
I believe we should just move on.
There's a door to Gaz's left. So you had a quick look through that cook's quarter.
If no one has any business here, let's push ahead.
Alright. As you open the door here, you immediately see into a grisly sight of many bodies, perhaps a dozen or more, of different guards, servants, other people, piled into the center of the room. It may have once been a scullery with all the plates, pots, glass bottles, other things around, but now it's just a grisly scene. And sitting right next to that grisly scene is a very large figure right next to it. That would be this one here. The figure of an icy skinned, well-bearded, small-looking giant. Sort of stares daggers at each of you as he looks up from his wounds on his chest. He's sort of sitting against the double doors behind him. What were the chances of another large creature like that?
A question. Are the bodies more guards, or are they more of the bad people, the thugs?
Lots of servants, a few guards. But at this point, I think we're at the end of our session here. Gone for 3 hours total.
Oh my.
Ooh,
Ooh,
boy.
that's the most engaged I've been as a player in a long time. Then again, I haven't been a player in a while.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be our session for tonight, as you're going to have to figure out how to deal with this giant sitting in front of the doors there. Perhaps the doors to your, well, main hall, as they look to be, sort of in that direction. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session. There's a lot I'm sort of catching up with, going over, discovering as we're playing, so I think it went well.
Fantastic time.
For sure. Yeah.
In-
It's always a blast with you.
Indeed, I had a great time. In
Yeah,
terms
that was a lot of fun.
In terms
Ditto.
of introductions, this was great.
Hmm. Yeah, I like this introduction, actually. This part is a new addition because of the video game to the original AP. So it's still its own thing, of course.
I'm loving it though.
Hmm. Either way, those of you watching, thank you for sticking around the whole time. If you haven't already, follow this channel, because we're going to be streaming this every weekend. Might have 1 or 2 days during each month where we don't, just depending on what I'm doing or what everyone else is doing, but yeah, we plan on every week. So, hope everyone who is watching had a good time, and anybody else who wants to shout out their channels, because I know there's a few other streamers here.
Neldunak here. I'm hoping to stream more.
I'll have to make sure to come by when you do. I am also a streamer, Chris Crow. You can see me in chat. And I often, but not always, run on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings.
I wish I had more time to stream.
Well,
I know that
income.
feeling. Work.
College.
Even if I don't have a lot of time to do other stream stuff, I want to, actually, because I think it'd be fun, but I still run 6 other professional games every week, so yeah, it's going to take up some time.
Also, don't forget to plug your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, most people know about the YouTube channel, but either way, search Kobold DM on YouTube, you'll find it. So, that being said, thank you guys for coming. That'll be the end of the stream, and see you guys next time.
Ciao.
Good night, everyone.